like chocolate
Yeah,
milk.
so we got. Oh, I can hear OG fine. I just can't hear y'all. Type. I can't even hear y'all, Brian. Whatever you're trying to say, type in the comment section. I don't know what's going on.
Wow.
Right now, I'm gonna talk about what's going on Raw. Raw is actually starting up right now as we speak. I can hear the music playing in the background. Probably gonna be a terrible show. Hope I'm wrong. They had quite a bit of momentum to build up off last week. Knowing WWE, they probably not gonna do a good job with it though. Because Raw Legends Night was last week. It's probably gonna be a lot of no more contenders matches for Royal Rumble to me, which is absolutely pointless because you should only be focusing on people on Raw in the Royal Rumble that got a chance of winning. Like, don't nobody care about, lower card people doing nothing. So the thing I found interesting about Raw last week, I love chocolate milk. Okay, yeah. Well, you need to figure out what's going on with your audio, buddy. I don't know what's going on, Brian.
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Okay, somebody just said something. Who's that? Talk again. I hear somebody.
That was me. You can hear me, TJ?
I can hear Raph. Brian, I don't know what's going on with you, man.
Leave out and come back in, Brian. Leave out and come back in. That's what I just said.
Do what Raph just said. Leave out, come back in. You mean log out or just what you mean?
No, just leave the app and come back in. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's
me and Brian was talking the entire time. We could hear everybody. You just couldn't hear us.
Right. No, I saw y'all mouth moving, but I can't. You know what I mean? Y'all got to talk. I can't hear what y'all say. I can hear OG. He just muted himself for a minute to charge his phone, but I can hear him.
Yeah, I heard him.
Brian, Raph, try to put some light on in the background for him so people can see you.
I got you, man. I got you.
All right. But yeah, I heard WWE fucked up last week in the Goldberg and Drew McIntyre segment, which is already controversial to begin with, ended before the show. I'm sorry. The show cut off before they were able to conclude what they're doing in the ring. How the fuck? And I'm sorry if y'all not used to me cussing on here. This is the part of the show. If y'all know my wrestling podcast is pretty TV man, I cuss. So this is a different TJ that y'all probably not used to. How the fuck do you run out of time on a 3-hour show? So what to me, what that translates to is some bullshit match that was unnecessary to begin with, that had no consequence or no reason to be on TV other than fill up time, ran too long when they could have cut it. This is one of the reasons right now why I'm advocating and campaigning for WWE to fire Triple H. Because this shouldn't even be happening right now. Brian, I think I hear you now. I hear car noise. I can hear you now, Brian.
Oh, man.
Raph, you still there? You look froze.
I'm here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, like, how the fuck do you run out of it's a 3-hour show. How the fuck do you run out of time?
It's because
good shit. I am Vincent Kennedy McMahon,
no,
and I do whatever I want.
No. Vince has not even been there. Vince has been sick. Vince just got back to TV like last week.
I mean,
hey, listen to me on Zoom, damn it.
Go ahead, Raph.
It's a few things. First thing, it just shows that everything's thrown together to where they don't even have any idea what they're doing. They don't know the timing of this stuff. They just throw a bunch of storylines and matches together and put it on TV.
Right.
That's all they do. Second, we gotta blame Bruce Pritchard. He's a part of that too. We gotta blame everybody else that's in that party. Bruce Pritchard, Kevin Dunn, and the rest of the party. I mean, last time I checked, Kevin Dunn was ahead of Triple H.
In production, he is.
Okay,
and
that sounds like a production problem.
Yeah, but production get a lot of their cues from people that's running the show, either Bruce Pritchard or Triple H. Kevin Dunn only know what's going on if they tell him through the headset. Like he know, okay, camera cuts and all of that. No, but no, what I heard was, this is what happened, because we blaming a lot of people. I heard the person that used to be over time cues back when he worked there was I think they said it was Arn Anderson. Then after Arn Anderson, it was Billy Kidman. So Billy Kidman is the only one of those people that's still employed with WWE. So they have somebody specifically that watched the time. No, actually, it wasn't. Who was the first person I said? It wasn't Arn. It was Gerald Briscoe. Gerald Briscoe used to be the person that used to keep track of the show as far as time cues and all that. Now it's Billy Kidman. So between Billy Kidman, Triple H, and Bruce Pritchard and Kevin Dunn, it was a lack of communication somewhere, and that's a problem when you got a 3-hour show.
And what comes on after Raw?
different things. Chris Lee knows best. Miz and Mrs. depending on what's in season at that time or whatever.
Okay, well that makes sense. I mean, so right now it's Chris Lee, right?
I believe so.
Okay, so that makes sense. I was gonna say why couldn't Raw go overtime, but apparently it seems like Chris Lee knows best is more important than Raw to USA.
Right.
All right.
Right.
I don't know why.
It's a problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
But now I want to start the show off with this question now that we got that out the way. With McIntyre having a COVID-19, which means you have to be off TV for at least 2 weeks, should they crown a new champion tonight, either in a multi-man match or have Miz cash in on McIntyre? Or
Miz,
yet,
here's what I say.
Better yet, since McIntyre can't physically be there, should he be stripped of the title?
If McIntyre,
hold on, let Raph go, Brian. Hold on, let Raph go since he was already talking. Go ahead, Raph.
McIntyre can't physically be in the arena, if it's that bad, then he needs to be stripped. But if he's able to show up, then Miz should cash in. But here's what they should do: they should strip McIntyre from the belt, and they should just say the winner of the Rumble. They just have a tournament where the winner of the Rumble, and then have something else, and those two people will fight for the champion, the vacated championship at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I agree. But they probably not gonna take the title off of him because Finn Balor had a broken jaw for like what 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and they ain't take the title off him. Remember the rule you said if you couldn't defend the title for 30 days, they took you off TV. They don't do that no more.
They
Go ahead,
should.
Brian, what you say?
He'll be fine by the Rumble. He'll be good to go by the Rumble. I wouldn't worry about it. They could just do like their shit talking promos via Zoom, Microsoft Teams, or whatever. They'll just do it like that. But he'll be good to go by the Rumble because what? He just got the word today. So today's the 11th. The Rumble's like what? Towards
31st.
like last. Yeah. So he'll be good to go.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I ain't even gonna lie, dude. I'm ready for him to lose that title. His title reign is going absolutely nowhere. I'm tired of it. It's been boring, especially the fact that they gotta dig up Randy Orton. They gotta dig up Randy Orton and past his prime as Sheamus to be in a main event of Raw in 2020. Are you fucking kidding? Two of the most boring options, period, to have as WWE champion, especially since both of them are not good at holding a long promo segment. Sheamus has a thick-ass, boring Irish accent. Randy Orton's been boring for like 15 years. Like, hey, I mean, he's great in the ring. Nobody's denying that Randy Orton can't hold it down in the ring. But you got to build up a reason for people to care about your fight to begin with. You got two boring fucks like Randy Orton and Sheamus that's number one contender for the fucking title when you have a charismatic guy like Matt Riddle, Keith Lee, and a Bobby Lashley managed by MVP option. Are you fucking kidding me right now?
John Morrison.
No, he's too fucking boring.
What?
John Morrison, he's a great dude. When have you ever heard? Okay, Brian, I got a question for you. Right now,
if you take the handcuffs off of him, the man can't
what handcuffs
go.
Brian, what handcuffs do he have? What handcuffs did he have?
He's handcuffed, dude. They got him doing that stupid comedy shtick with the Miz.
Okay, what handcuffs?
When he was
hold on, wait.
When he was
what
at
handcuffs did he have an impact? What handcuffs did he have an impact?
He had no handcuff, but in like Lucha Underground,
he tore it up. Impact.
He tore it up in Lucha Underground.
As far as being a main champion, he sucked. One thing y'all got to understand, y'all know about me, I don't care about in-ring wrestling. Clearly, he don't suck as in-ring wrestler. I mean, he sucked as a champion. You tell me he a better champion than Moose? No, he's not a better champion. He's not even a better champion than Sami Callihan. John Morrison is a mid-card, great in the ring guy. His promo skill, this is what he sounds like. He sounds like William Shatner from Star Wars when he talks. He has very choppy, unconfident promo. Why do you think they put him back with The Miz? It ain't because he's not good in the ring. He's great in the ring, which is everybody in WWE's great in the ring. You're not going to.
They paired him up with Miz because Miz's storyline was going stale.
No, it don't have nothing to do with that. They paired him up with Miz because Miz is a great. They paired him up with Miz because Miz is a great talker. Miz is the greatest talker on Raw right now. Why do you think they gave him the money in the bank and turned it off Otis? Because Miz is reliable and he can talk. Nobody says, "Oh, look, let's remember that great John Morrison promo." Nobody's ever said that. John Morrison is not okay. He might be a good option as a Universal Champion. I wouldn't put the WWE title on him. The WWE Champion is the guy that go on Jimmy Kimmel Live and the Tonight shows that build up WrestleMania. You telling me when you got Matt Riddle, MVP? I will put the title on MVP before I put it on John Morrison. Yeah, MVP can't work, but he can sell some tickets by talking. Maybe John Morrison could have been champion in like 2013 when WWE roster was terrible. They got too many talented people now. He could be WWE. He could be champion in NXT. I'll put the bet on him over Johnny Gargano. But no, I don't think so. Not on Raw. There's too many people. So he's a better option as champion than Jeff Hardy, than Miz, than Bobby Lashley. I don't think so. No, I'm not buying that. John Morrison's a great athlete. He can have a good match. As a matter of fact, John Morrison needs to be helping reestablish the Intercontinental title. That belt is terrible because it's had nobody's hold it for 3 months. I'm sorry, like 3 years. The last interesting IC champion by default was AJ Styles. I can't even think about Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens was the last really good mid-card champion in WWE because he actually know how to cut a fucking promo. He's not, I'm a guy that know how to do, Miz can do a fucking springboard 850-degree flip. Well, not Miz, but Morrison can do these crazy flips. But Morrison is not a good option for a WWE champion. He's not that good of a promo. Another overrated promo that a lot of people say John Morrison's the second coming of was Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels is not a great promo. He's one of the lowest drawing fucking champions in WWE history. People only like him because what? He was a good wrestler. Shawn Michaels is a terrible promo. So was fucking Bret Hart. I love Bret Hart. He sucked as a promo.
During that 96 downfall of WWE, Shawn Michaels did a pretty good job trying to hold the company.
Shawn Michaels is one of the lowest drawing wrestling champions ever. Look at the numbers. It's not about personal opinion. It's about facts. Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart are two of the lowest drawing WWE champions in history. You cannot dispute that. Even Meltzer has said it. All the dirt sheets agree on that. Shawn Michaels is a terrible champion. Why do you think they put the belt on Austin after a while? If it was left up Vince, Shawn Michaels would have had that belt forever. Look how many title reigns he had. Look how many Royal Rumbles he won. They realized Austin was a better draw as champion. Go ahead, Rap.
You said it's my turn?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, I don't know about Bret. I'm very surprised to hear that what you said about Bret. That kind of
he was a boring talker.
That kind of hurts me that you said that about Bret.
Okay, let me preface. Hold on, Ray. Let me preface. Bret was boring until 1997 when he started feuding to Austin. Austin brought the best out of Bret Hart. Before that, he was boring as fuck. Go ahead.
Now, Shawn Michaels, I can agree to disagree with. Shawn Michaels first won the champion. When he won that Rumble in 1994, I believe it was 1994, and then it was 95.
95, yeah.
Because he won it 2 years in a row, 95 and 96 then, right?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, when he won that Rumble 2 years in a row, 95 and 96, Michaels was probably the biggest name in that company around the time. He was one of the, Michaels' name was big. Like, when Michaels did that, a lot of wrestling fans never seen anybody do that. Like, he was such a big star.
But stop yourself, right? Ask yourself a question. Why was Shawn Michaels the biggest champion in 1995 in WWE? What kind of competition did he have as far as big names to compete with in 1995? Man, they put the King of the Ring on fucking Viscera. That shows you the talent that they had in 1995. Viscera won the King of the Ring.
Well, that was because Vince McMahon still had a hard-on for big men.
And what's the reason for Vince going back to the hard on to big men? What do big men always do unequivocally with very few exceptions? It was obviously big guys that didn't draw. Jack Swagger didn't draw as world champion. Who's another world champion that didn't draw? Alberto Del Rio was 235 pounds. He's kind of big. He didn't draw. You always have people that don't draw. But more times than not, big guys draw. Why do you think Goldberg keeps coming back? He fucking draws. We don't have to like him, but he's a draw. I don't think it's necessary for Goldberg to come back. But when Drew McIntyre is boring the fuck out of people for 6 months, what do you expect them to do? Why do you think they gave him that goofy-ass Scottish sword and all that? Whenever Vince know that you're boring, he's going to goof your character up. McIntyre, you cannot dispute it. He fucking sucks now. I would love to hear the argument against outside of the ring, because I already know somebody going to say some ring shit. Name a good promo McIntyre has cut in the last 3 months. I'm waiting.
He needs a manager.
Exactly. He fucking sucks. You can't say they didn't give him time. He's been fucking champion since March. What has he done?
You give him Nikki Cross. Scotsman to Scotsman.
Her accent's worse than his. You can understand her better than fucking.
Give him Spud.
No,
Scotsman.
I love Nikki Cross, but she's not a good. She wouldn't be a good manager. I love.
What
Nikki
about
Cross.
Spud?
Rock, yeah, definitely, yeah. Drake Maverick, yeah, Drake Maverick will make a lot more sense.
Hell, Dana Brooke, I'll take that.
Nah, she don't fit his character. Not Dana Brooke. No, maybe Lana or Paige. If you want a woman, Lana or Paige.
Nikki Cross.
No, Brian. No.
Nikki Cross is hot.
No.
Man.
No, she's good, but when a manager, you have to be able to talk. We're not talking about a girl out there that look good. We're talking about somebody that can talk because he can't.
And you don't think Nikki Cross learned a lesson from Alexa Bliss?
Brian, right now, in a sentence, tell me a memorable line you heard from a Nikki Cross promo.
Nikki wants to play.
So does that fit Drew McIntyre's character?
Was it kicking heads and drinking kegs? Hey,
no, and then on top of that, why would you run her storyline with Alexa Bliss that they've been building up for 6 months? You're gonna abruptly end that just to put up a boring ass Drew McIntyre? I don't think so. No. Lana or Paige are the only two people that I will put with him because both of them can talk and they're both extremely attractive. All Nikki Cross got going for her, she looks pretty good. She don't look better than Paige or Lana though, and she definitely can't talk better than them. Now, if you said Alexa Bliss, yeah, but Alexa Bliss has a storyline that you're not going to waste for Drew McIntyre. That's fucking stupid. No, that's just no. I'm sorry, miss me on that. That's no, forget that. But OG, what say you in the comment section or whatever? But Rav, I think you, if I'm not mistaken, your answer was that you take that belt off Drew McIntyre.
Yes, if he's not going to defend it, I mean. They could still find a way to strip him and put it on Miz.
Right.
I mean, they could. I don't know how, but I'm sure if they were sat back and spelt creative loud enough, I mean, they could figure it out.
Right.
Would I want Miz to chant? No.
It's funny, Rav, that you said figure it out because that's something WWE have a hard time doing right now. They can't figure out shit, like nothing. And honestly, I'm getting a little tired of the blame getting put on Vince McMahon. Vince get blamed a little too much. Yeah, Vince do extremely stupid shit. Nobody's denying that with some of these dumb ideas that he have, constantly bringing back old time to somebody he don't have faith in new people. Bro, you got to give them a fucking chance to fail first. That's all we ask. Give them a chance first. Or whatever. And all these women matches are making WWE unwatchable. I'm listening in the background right now, and I'm hearing a lot of women's matches. Hopefully, this match will be good because it has Lacey Evans in it. So hopefully, she contributes something to it. I can't see like what matches they got planned for tonight on Raw because they be putting them up at the last minute most of the time. Triple H to kick off Raw. Was Triple H out there? I heard Randy Orton music playing. Well, was Triple H out there? Okay, if they played his music, I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it or whatever. Yeah, OG said Morrison sucks in the comments. I wouldn't go as far as say he sucked. I just say he's not a good option as a champion or whatever. We lost OG and Raph and Brian. Let me know what's going on. Did y'all get off y'all selves or did y'all internet drop? What happened? Y'all got to let me know in the comment section. I have no idea what happened or whatever. OG, I'm going to need you to get on in a second to balance that show. How low is your battery, OG? And riddle me this. Did Triple H start off the show? I didn't hear anything about it. Let me know in the comment if Triple H kicked off the show or not. So I don't have to go back and waste my time watching that garbage because I heard Randy Orton music playing. Oh, it was Triple H. I don't know what he talked about. I see it right now on WrestleZone. Triple H did start off the show. Let's go on Twitter. Maybe somebody put something on Twitter. Let's see. No, Matt Riddle, because at least he has a personality and know how to cut a promo or whatever. But yeah. So I'm trying to find out what Triple H. So I gotta wait for him to update it on here. I'm seeing people talking stupid about how Triple H is so good at what he do. I don't even know what that even means. Somebody's live on the Thunderdome. Some dude named Brian or something like that. Thunderdome is tiring. I tapped out, at least seeing myself on camera. Interesting. So murder is okay, but talking shit about Big Show is too far. What is this kid talking about? Jess Jacob. What are you, like 12? Oh, he's 17, according to this thing. Man, they need to stop letting kids get on Twitter. Kids always get on Twitter and do stupid shit. Yeah, Triple H is here. Somebody's happy. 305 RIP Brody. I guess I can read some of these Twitter tweets about Raw. This is more interesting than the actual show. I might well read some of these tweets until they update online what happened, because I'm not trying to get up and rewind my TV. Remember when Orton used to use the old balls from Stephanie Purse line to hype up the show on Super Showdown? He must have just said that again. So are they about to, like, is Orton and Triple H wrestling for the title? Like, what's going on? I don't get it. Damn, Triple H, but we working out. Dude showed up on Raw with a washboard forehead. What does that even mean? I'm just reading tweets, y'all. The game is still got it. Please don't tell me Randy Orton is about to, Triple H is about to get the title. Man, it looks like we might be headed to a Randy Orton versus Triple H match at the WrestleMania. This does not look good. Yeah, I'm typing this on Twitter as we speak. I am not looking forward to Randy Orton versus Triple H. Okay, let me get up real quick. I hear Lacey Evans going on. Let me see who she's wrestling against. Oh, Charlotte versus Lacey. This should be pretty good. Charlotte versus Lacey sounds like a great match. It honestly sounds like something that should be happening at WrestleMania, but obviously they want to burn through it tonight on Raw, which is another problem WWE's having. They burning through all these number one contenders matches, and I don't understand why. Lacey versus Charlotte has a lot of potential, especially with them using Ric Flair as a trope. I'm coming after your dad. That always draws any type of salacious TV, any kind of, what's the word I'm looking for here? Any reference of sex or cheating, all that type of shit always sells all the time. But they started off Raw with a bore fest with Randy Orton and Triple H, and oh my God, that probably means we about to get a bore fest at WrestleMania, and I am not looking forward to it. Let's just say that. I understand the psychology about bringing Triple H. Who just got back on here? Loud mic sound. Brian, he must was coming in the house or something like that, or whatever.
Yeah,
you need to take a drink because you're doing a whole lot of tweaking, talking about Nikki Cross need to be with the goddamn McIntyre. That's a party foul. You know that, right?
No, I'm willing to roll the dice. Let her go. Let her go. Let her go. Let her see what she can do.
I love Nikki Cross, but she can't act, bro. It's not gonna happen.
Don't be scared.
I love Nikki Cross. You've heard me talk about Nikki Cross so many times, but that will not work.
Trial by fire. Let her go.
Trial by fire is not
Trial
something.
by
WWE
fire. Hey,
no.
you don't know unless you do.
Brian.
Just throw it out there.
Trial by fire is something WWE been doing for 5 years, and their ratings is a 1.5 on Raw. That's why they don't need
That's
to be
bad
doing.
ratings.
What more do you have to lose?
Terrible.
What more do you have to lose?
What more do you have to
I hear
lose?
you.
Getting AEW and NXT numbers is what you have to use. Do you know AEW and NXT barely get 1 million views every week?
It's pro wrestling, DJ.
Huh?
I said it's pro wrestling. What do you
Pro
expect?
wrestling could never be presented as an actual sport ever.
I'm just saying, let Nikki be Nikki. See, I'm rolling.
Brian,
I'll roll the
No,
dice.
that's where me and you
Brian.
come in disagreement.
So,
I'll roll the dice.
Brian, so you're willing to sacrifice her storyline that's been built up for almost a year with Alexa Bliss just for this boring fuck Drew McIntyre? So you're willing to
what thing with Alexa Bliss? Ever since Alexa Bliss finally joined into the Firefly Funhouse, it's like Nikki Cross got just like left out.
You haven't been watching Raw the last 2 or 3 weeks, have you?
And I already told you why.
No. So how are you gonna make a comment on something that you haven't watched? Hold on. You know Nikki Cross has been on the Firefly Funhouse lately with Alexa Bliss before they burned Bray Wyatt. You know she was present there, right? And
the last time I saw Nikki Cross do anything was when she was talking to Tori Wilson and they ran off with R-Truth. That was it.
That was a 1 week thing.
But then
prior to that,
another time before that, I saw like a backstage segment where Nikki's trying to talk to Alexa, and then Alexa turns around and she's got like the Sith eyes going.
So you just said that you know that they're in a storyline with each other, then, right? Or am I missing?
So what Alexa Bliss has done for her ever since what Randy Orton possibly lit her on fire?
She might be on Raw tonight, so we don't know that. That's what I'm saying. But my point is, I'm not willing to sacrifice. Now we ain't gonna stay on this point too long because it's really not that important. But Nikki Cross being sacrificed as far as being with Alexa Bliss in the Fiend storyline, which they need Nikki Cross more than ever because Bray Wyatt's probably going to be off TV for a while. If I had to guess, he's got some type of family thing going on, or they wouldn't have burned him and took his character off TV like that. But the fact that you're willing to sacrifice the progression of Nikki Cross's character just for a boring fuck like Drew McIntyre that lacks this thing called an it factor, something that you have or you don't, you are not born. Well, I'm sorry, you can't give somebody an it factor. It's one of those things you're either born with or you're not. He just don't have it. And you can't say they haven't given him enough time. He's been champion for 9 fucking months, boring the shit out of people. It's time to take that bet off him. If Goldberg beats Drew McIntyre, which I hope he does, I'm not going to bat an eye for Drew McIntyre. He needs to get drafted to SmackDown, feud with Roman Reigns for a while, and chase him for the title. While he's doing that, he needs to learn how to cut a promo. Drew McIntyre, other than muscle, does not have one characteristic that warrants him being WWE champion right now. Not one. He's fucking boring. End of story. So it looks like they're going towards Triple H versus Randy Orton. I don't want to see this. Maybe y'all do. Let's be fair, though. It ain't about Triple H. Y'all already know how I feel about Triple H, and I'm not even going to rag on it now because it's just he ain't really did nothing today to make me upset. Exactly. So I don't want to see Randy Orton on TV either. If Randy Orton was to retire right now abruptly, I would not care.
I wouldn't care either. Randy Orton bores me too.
He's fucking boring, and Triple H is not gonna make it better with his.
Oh my god,
Randy Orton. Yeah, like the last 10 years, Randy Orton bored me.
And you add another boring old fuck in there like Triple H, and it's gonna make it work.
Because what I do in the ring, no one can't do it because I have the most 3 devastating letters in the alphabet, and it's simple that even a Nimrod like me can say R-K. What's that third one? Oh, yeah. O.
You sound like you just cut a John Morrison promo. That's exactly how he talks. Choppy like that. That's exactly how John Morrison talks.
What on earth do you mean? I talk very plain, simple English.
And I think another hang up with John Morrison is the fact that his moveset looks cartoony. Like, how do you do the Starship Pain as a finish? Are you like, no. Like that won't even hurt.
Technique. If you look at the physical science,
you don't have a body weight for it.
Springs, this torque and the spin, the revolutions of the cycle, along with the impact of the body size. It's all physics, man.
It sounds good, don't it? That move will only hurt if somebody like Keith Lee did it. That move looks retarded and choreographed. Nobody's gonna lose to a move that looks like that.
Dude, it looks great in slow motion.
His signature move is a dancing, spinning neck breaker, and then his other signature move is this capoeira move where he dances and leg drop on your neck. Who the hell is going to lose to a move like that in a real fight? So if for him to take, honestly, John Morrison should have a kick as a finish because he has long legs. He's really athletic. He should have like a jumping, spinning kick or something like that as a finish. His finishing moves are ridiculous. He was designed. You know what he's amazing at? To give him credit, John Morrison was designed for like stunt work. So if they would give him like that Damian Sandow type character where he was mimicking Miz, he would excel at something like that because he understands how to mimic people and how to choreograph like moves and stuff like that. That's what he's good at. Like he's not a good person that you build your character on. He has the look of a superstar. He just don't act or wrestle like one. But he does. If it came down to just looks, GQ looks, of course he got it, especially for his age. He's like what, like 40 now? So for him to be close to 40, if not 40, he has the looks of a superstar. He just no, thank you. Miz is more the star. And it took me a while.
He has good taste in women.
Yeah, well, Taya just started looking good a couple years ago. She ain't always. I love Taya.
Talk about Taya. Taya been looking good since the beginning. Hey, come on now.
I don't know. She had kind of a masculine look when she was in Lucha Underground. She was kind of masculine. She had a strong face. I love Taya now though. She's gorgeous, but she got her body right. Yeah, I love Taya though. The greatest unsigned women's wrestler to not be in WWE right now. Because I ain't gonna lie, bro. I lost respect for Rosemary, man. She's kind of a mark. I don't even like her no more.
Why?
She just the type of storyline she's allowed Impact to put her in since since Kevin Sullivan left is just hey, it's a lot of people I lost respect for Brian Cage. I lost respect for Sami Callihan. A lot of those people, Moose, because for whatever reason, he don't think he should be champion, which is why are you wasting your time if you don't want to be world champion? But go back to football, bro, or go to acting. Why would you go in stupid wrestling where you gonna hurt yourself, where they don't get your insurance just to be in there having fun with your friends? I just don't agree with that philosophy. It's okay for him to have that, but I don't respect wrestlers that think like that. Or whatever. But Rosemary, she should have went to either WWE or AEW. The fact that she's still wasting her time in AEW is laughable, really. I'm sorry, not AEW, Impact. The fact that she's still wasting her time is really laughable right now. Because I would have left after Allie left. When Allie left, when they cut Allie's throat and ended her on that, whatever that Dark Realm stuff was, I would have left with if I was Rosemary, I would have left after that. Because ever since then, her character's been goofy. They put her with Johnny Bravo, another dude that nobody knows the fuck. You could have been a potential like Asuka type character in AEW, yet you doing all this goofy bullshit, which goofiness is fine if you write it properly. Jimmy Jacobs just sucked. That's the problem. He don't know how to write anything. He just sucked. He had one idea and everybody thinks he's amazing with that Jericho idea, that list thing, which honestly, if it was anybody other than Jericho, it wouldn't have meant anything. If you gave that to somebody that didn't know how to act, it would have been terrible. Like if you would have gave that to like John Morrison, it would have sucked. If you gave it to Drew McIntyre, it would have sucked. If you would have gave it to Mustafa Ali, it would have sucked because all of them suck. But a guy like Jericho who's talented, who has a degree in journalism, who knows how to act, and I'm not even the biggest Jericho fan. I think he's quite overrated. But as far as like the star of his caliber for the height that he had, for being in the Attitude Era with Titans like The Rock, Austin, Undertaker, and surprisingly, yes, I'm about to name him, Triple H was a Titan of the Attitude Era. He just sucks now and he's old and stupid. But
Jericho's money.
Jericho is money, but I don't think he's the GOAT like a lot of people say he is. The GOAT doesn't wrestle anymore. That man's name is Dwayne The Rock Johnson. He's retired. I'm just sick of people calling him the GOAT. The GOAT keeps their body in good shape. They don't look like a fat, out of shape piece of shit, grown old man on TV. The GOAT. If you're gonna call somebody the GOAT in AEW, call that person MJF because he's the only one that act like one, and he's starting to become a mark a little bit too. But I still like him though. He's starting to become a part. It is no way. It is no fucking way. It is
MJF is the future. I've said that wholeheartedly. That the promos he drops and the little backstage interviews he does, I'm like, this guy's gold.
Yeah. Let's talk about something I actually am happy about because I've been negative most of this podcast, but it's just been too much shit happening, which is why I've been mostly negative. But Charlotte versus Lacey Evans is a storyline I'm looking forward to, but I'm not going to get overly excited because WWE excels at disappointing people with good storylines. The thing I love about it is they're using Ric Flair in an effective way, and I'm guessing Charlotte is going to haphazardly turn heel, which I don't know how that's going to work with babyface Asuka being one half of the tag team champions with her, but I'm sure WWE's twisted logic will work it out some type of way. But yeah, I'm very intrigued by that storyline. A big problem that I have is I think they're going to blow it off on TV, and that's going to be a waste of a potential pay-per-view match. When you have all these fucking pay-per-views to build up before WrestleMania, which I think is like 2 or 3 pay-per-views, you got Rumble. What's that dumbass pay-per-view that's in February or March every year? That's unnecessary. With the car. They always had a car sound effect. What the fuck pay-per-view?
Oh, Fastlane?
Yeah, that garbage. That's coming up. So you got all these
lame.
You're going to blow through matches like Charlotte versus Lacey for what reason?
Usually they don't like in February. Don't they have like with the elimination chamber?
Chamber come. I forgot about that. Chambers. You got 3 pay-per-views before the Royal Rumble, and you're gonna blow through Charlotte versus Lacey Evans for what fucking reason? Now I don't mind tonight if it ended in DQ. That's fine. Which, by the way, who watching Raw? Which one of y'all watching Raw? Anybody? Who got it on their TV right now?
Nope.
Because I got audio. I know he got it on, but he must be away from his phone. He got his camera on mute or whatever. Because I know they were wrestling. I heard the bell ring.
Because it's his baby boo probably wrestling.
Baby boo.
Nia Jax.
That's what she called herself?
No. You know how OG loves Nia Jax? That's his baby boo.
I think he likes Sasha a little more than her. But yeah, he does like Nia Jax.
Yeah, Nia Jax is his baby boo. So
Nia Jax
that's my boo too.
I used to like Nia a lot when she beat Alexa Bliss in 2018. I haven't liked her too much. She's all right. I think she gets.
I gotta change
Get him.
subject.
Get him.
Did Jake the Snake wrestle in WWE in '97?
Yes.
Briefly.
What made you think of that?
No, I'm looking at their '97 roster, and I'm
serious? Remember, he the one that got Austin over. Remember that Austin 316? He cut that on Jake Roberts.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
That's when he was out of shape and becoming a bad drug addict. But yeah, he was over there around that time. He was a good asset to the roster too, because you didn't have a lot of wrestlers around that time that had the mind like Jake the Snake Roberts. You had a lot of that was the new generation. Well, other than Bret Hart, that was the only one really that was Shawn Michaels was kind of experienced too, but Bret Hart was probably the most experienced person on the roster at the time because Hogan and all them dudes had left. They had got cracked.
Yeah, this was a shitty roster, bro.
You're talking about, yeah.
That asked for the credit to why Shawn Michaels had the belt. He had a belt in a shitty roster. That's why they gave it to him. He wouldn't have had that belt with Austin and all on the roster at the time.
I thought throughout that rough patch with WCW and before like the whole Monday Night War, I thought Shawn did a pretty decent job of holding it together, like keeping the company relevant.
He didn't do anything to hold the company over. Outside of the ring, he did nothing.
Yeah, but as far as like trying to get the ratings on and over that, yeah, Shawn did great.
What I said was, and I'll say it again to you, TJ, 95 and 96 should have been Michael's year. Michael should have won the belt in 95 and dropped it in 97.
He should have split it between. It should have been split between him and Undertaker. I will say that. Undertaker, I forgot Undertaker was there at the time. It should have been him and Undertaker should have been holding the showdown between them. Him, Undertaker, and Psycho Sid.
I got Undertaker winning.
Sid was a really underrated worker that people do not get credit for. Sid knew how to do it.
No, it's just because Sid just got notoriety just because of his size and like his build.
Sid was a good worker. Sid was a good worker in Mid-South. You remember that wrestler Humongous that came out with the mask on was it who came out with him? Was it who was that? Oh, that big dude. The general, what was his name? Standard Akbar. He was Humongous. Remember that wrestler Humongous in Mid-South? That was Psycho Sid when he first started out. So he knew how to work. It's just if you going off Dave Meltzer definition of work, of course he don't know how to work because Dave Meltzer's a fucking mark. If it's like Dave Meltzer had the idiotic disposition of saying that Okada and Kenny Omega are better workers than Shawn Michaels. Are you fucking stupid?
Kenny Omega is a better worker than Michaels.
They're better. They're better at
sacrilege
moves. They're not better psychologists than Shawn Michaels. Their matches are not hour kickouts. That's all they do. I'm not gonna watch a fake fight for an hour with dudes kicking out. Now, I'm gonna take Kenny Omega kind of out of that category because Kenny Omega has pretty good psychology. It's like Okada does too, to a certain extent. But guys like Will Ospreay and who's the other guys? Kota Ibushi, terrible psychology. They're great athletes, but they have terrible range. They do not know how to pace the match properly at all. At all. Omega actually knows how to pace one. Omega is just a mark, but he knows how to work, though. He can work his ass off. He's a decent promo, too. He's not the best promo like people say he is, but he's a competent promo. For today's standards, Kenny Omega's a good promo. For modern standards, he is. He's not like a storyteller, like a Chris Jericho or nobody like that, but he's a solid promo.
I mean, Austin Aries is like he's total.
He's
package
a better
as well.
promo than everybody that y'all currently like.
He's a total package.
Yes, he is. You're not gonna ever get me say anything bad about
Shawn Michaels. So I mean, like I break it down like this: like Shawn Michaels in the class of his own, Omega's in the class of his own, AJ Styles in the class of his own, but I still got to watch the other guys to really make a determination. But Austin Aries for his size and what he can do, I mean, like I don't understand why he's not brought up in the conversation with everybody else.
I mean, what year did Bret Hart go to WCW?
97.
97.
Taylor. 97. Like
so I mean,
December 97.
I mean, I look at it like this, TJ. You know, going back to Shawn Michaels, I get what you're saying, split it between him and Taker, but you got to realize Undertaker's biggest year was like
98, 99.
Yeah, and also you got to think about 93 too. From 93 to 95, like Taker was on top.
The problem is there are a lot of big guys not named Yokozuna that was able to keep up with Undertaker in all departments.
True.
They had whack motherfuckers like the Berserker and fucking who was these other clowns they had him in the ring with?
Nails.
All out of shape and all of that. Like he was not gonna get no good match out of Jimmy Snuka in 1997. Jimmy Snuka was like 10 years past his prime at that point.
Yeah.
Jake Roberts
Jimmy
was
retired. Jimmy should have been retired. But what I'm saying is I don't like the short title reign. I don't like the titles hopping around. So if I can go back, WWE had a worse roster in the early 90s. Yes. Their roster was shit. So if it was up to me, I would have had Undertaker win the world title because I remember 93 to 95, their roster isn't even worth remembering. I would have Undertaker keep the belt from 93 to 95, drop it to Michaels with the help of Nash. Because remember, he had that rival with Diesel around that time.
He did.
So I would have had Michaels beat Taker for the title in 95 and Michaels drop it in 97, probably to like Austin or Shamrock.
Yeah.
Because Austin and Shamrock are, once again, WWE's roster didn't get good to 98, 99.
Shawn Michaels would have been too scared to work with Shamrock, though. He wouldn't have worked with Shamrock.
He would have worked with Austin, though.
Yeah.
Sean did work with Shamrock, though. That one pay-per-view, that DX.
He wouldn't have worked with him for the WWE title and dropped it to him. Shawn Michaels wouldn't drop no title.
No, he wouldn't.
No.
If he wasn't drop the title to Vader, you know he's not dropping it to Ken Shamrock.
Yeah, but back then, though, like even Steve Austin said, like Shawn just refuses to drop the belt, and Vince was like, "Hey, I need you to drop the title." Like Stone Cold even said, like during that time, during that WrestleMania build-up.
Right back. Let's see what's going on TV. Go ahead. Keep talking.
He was saying like that build-up going into WrestleMania in Boston was just, Shawn was just kind of like, no, he didn't want to drop it. He was hard to work with.
Let me tell you this about Shawn Michaels. And this is something.
They said that's why him and Rock didn't work together. They said Michaels and Rock didn't work together because Michaels, they said, well, Jim Cornette said it. He said Michaels tried to destroy the Rock's push. He did not want to work with the Rock, and he thought the Rock was getting over on him. And he wasn't going to let that happen. So he was going to the creative team. He was going to Vince. And, it got to an issue. He said that's why The Rock and Michaels never had that match that was supposed to happen.
And also, we talked about this yesterday. He disrespected The Rock's grandmother when he was in her territory, too.
Yes. He did. So, back to Michaels. When Michaels won the Rumble in 95, and then he dropped the belt, won the Rumble in 96, and won it back. To me, I felt like there was no point for Michaels to drop the belt around that time because there was nobody really on his level other than The Undertaker. So if it was up to me, I would have told Michaels, okay, You could keep the belt, and he would have had it. He would have still won the Rumble in '95, but he would have dropped the belt in '97. He would have just been the first guy and the only guy to win the Rumble as champion in '96. It would have worked for his career. Now, all the other title reigns he had, and after that, that probably wouldn't happen.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about Michaels. I would have had him win the belt in '95 and drop it to '97 to Stone Cold.
Shawn Michaels haven't had a lot of title reigns. Most of Shawn Michaels' title reigns was in the 90s. After 1998, Shawn Michaels didn't win another title for like 2 years. No, for like 4 or 5
years. He won it in '96, and then he gave up it up. He gave up the title because of like the whole personal issue, and then he got the title back. Got the title back in the Survivor Series. The Survivor Series in '98, and then that's how, or '97, and then carried that long.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, that's true. But some of those reigns, because what is Michaels, a 5-time champion?
Yeah, about 5. Yeah,
about a 5.
Oh, wait. Let's see, '96, '97.
4 WWF title reigns in the '90s, 1 in 2002. He got 5 title reigns.
Yeah, but that didn't last long either. That really annoyed the hell out of me. It's like he was only champion for like a month and a half.
Only title reign that lasted a while was his 1996 title reign. That one was like a whole year.
TJ, but at the same time though, same thing that happened to Michael still happens to people today. I don't like championships hopping around. I believe wrestlers should reign as world champion, especially if there's nobody on your roster that can draw like your champion. If your champion is drawing, why take the belt off of him?
Well, that's the problem. A lot of them don't draw. That's what the problem. Why do you think Brock Lesnar had the Universal title so long? You can get mad if you're a nerd and you're watching this video. If you're a nerd wrestling fan, as James Storm would say, sorry about your damn luck. The other people don't draw. If you're going to sit here and try to convince me that Seth Rollins is a bigger draw than Brock Lesnar, you can turn this podcast off right now because you'll never convince me of that, ever. Seth Rollins is a horrible draw. If he wasn't good friends with Triple H, he wouldn't even have that many title reigns. Let's be honest. Almost every Seth Rollins title reign after 2015 when he cashed in at the Money in the Bank was extremely insignificant and nobody remembers it.
That's true.
The only people that don't want to end it. We're fine because I can hear you, Raph. We're fine. I can hear you. So,
so I agree.
By the way, this kind of off topic.
I remember
Shinsuke Nakamura babyface, which is something that SmackDown can really benefit from. They do not have a babyface.
Yeah, he should have been babyface.
He should have been babyface when he first came back when he was gone for a while or whatever. But I mean, he had a decent little run with Cesaro. That team was actually all right. It was okay for what it was. They should have been tag team champions a lot longer than what they was, but it's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother time. Because they the perfect heels that you could build a division around. They understand, especially Nakamura got the charisma. Cesaro is a pretty articulate, straight to the point type promo, kind of like an old school Ray Stevens type character, or like Ray straight to the point, where he don't need to be talking long to get to the point. Or whatever. Nakamura has a sense of humor and a weirdness that pissed people off. Sami Zayn was a decent mouthpiece. That was actually a decent little group. The problem with a lot of acts right now, they don't have enough people on their skill level to compete with them. It's nearly not enough people to keep up with them. They don't have, they don't have competition really. You have a street for every Usos. You got a whack ass tag team like whoever thrown together team somewhere. There's not enough consistent teams. What are you saying about, Brian?
Just came across on Bleacher Report. According to Sports Illustrated, list of 10 best superstars of 2020, Sasha Banks ranks number 1.
Yeah, that right there tells you how legitimate that list is right there. Only person I even take serious from Bleacher Report that's a writer is David Bixby. The rest of them are
so obviously
a bit credible. I don't care about them other dudes that right over there.
I mean, I think Sasha Banks is number 2, but number 1 should hands down go to Britt Baker.
She wasn't around long enough.
Yeah, but then other than that, it was like if they really want to go dig further in, I'm a hugger.
First of all, the fact if you're gonna use a woman, any woman on that list that should have been number one, and you can go back and look at the numbers if you don't believe me. That woman name is Mandy Rose. That shows you how biased and how much marks these writers are. Mandy Rose had the best storyline of any gender of 2020. That shows you how fucking biased these writers are, that they don't see that. I'm pretty sure if I pull up the numbers right now, but Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville was higher rated than most male matches. That's fucking bullshit, is what it is. Because Dave Meltzer, that little fucking retarded autistic bitch with this star rating system, influences all these writers to come up with bullshit. They know that's not true. Sasha Banks was barely on TV in 2020. How the fuck is she the top person? Bailey was more of the focus than she was. That shows you how much bullshit that list is. On that should be Mandy Rose. Brian, I'm gonna start making drinks every time you're gonna be drunk as hell on this show, constantly mentioning Bailey. That's a party foul. I already told you that. But no, I don't take none of those more serious. Fuck everybody at Bleacher Report except David Bixenspin. The rest of them are a bunch of dicks anyway. Snarky ass dicks. Shut-ins. They all shut-ins that look weird and shit. Fuck them.
Oh, come now.
Yeah. I haven't read Bleacher Report in about 6 or 7 years because I started to see the type of marks that they were and I stopped reading.
Bleacher Reports didn't always used to be like that.
I know. Well, they got cuck writers. That's what the problem is. But like I said, with the exception of David Bixenspin, I like him. He's actually intelligent. And he actually write articles that make you think and not just go off, oh, we're going to say this because everybody else is saying it. That's what everybody else writes. Even Solomonster, who's got a listenable podcast, but he's a mark too. Yeah.
Oh, come on. Solomonster's my guy.
I used to like Solomonster like 3 or 4 years ago, but you could tell he's on the payroll though. I've been around long enough to tell people that's on payrolls. I could look at him. I know he is. Okay. He's on a payroll for AEW. Even so much so, Jericho sent him a bottle of the bubbly to promote it on one of his shows. He's on their payroll.
Oh yeah, I need to order me a bottle of bubbly.
It probably tastes all right, but I'm not gonna promote it because Jericho told me. So I'm
gotta drink it in, man.
Right. Yeah. Matter of fact, let's go try to find that Bleacher Report article real quick. Let me see if they got it on Bleacher Report. I should call it Cuck Report.
Oh, come now.
They might be pretty good with legitimate sports like basketball, but they got some of the biggest marks for wrestling. Brian, put that thing in there for me. And put that in the chat for me. That
all right.
So I can bring that up. Or whatever. Because yeah, that's bullshit. The fact that Dave Meltzer or anybody haven't said that Sonya Deville and Mandy was the best WWE storyline of the year is a bunch of bullshit. They know what it was. Now, let me go check the numbers and see what it was. I'm pretty sure it was decent, though.
Oh, Triple H kicked off Monday Night Raw?
Brian, where have you been the last 30 minutes?
Well, when I talked to you guys, I was in my truck. I was in my truck, man, on my way home.
Yeah. Hold on, Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville. A SummerSlam match was probably the weakest match that they had. 1.3 million views. May 8th, 2020. Mandy Rose. The match itself rated low, but that's because people don't care about wrestling, especially women's wrestling. The segment was Sonya Deville cut Mandy Rose's hair has 1.5 million views. I'm pretty sure Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose, a segment with Naomi when she stole Jimmy Uso early 2019 has 10 million fucking viewers. That was last year. It has 10 million viewers. 10. And you're telling me that these jackoffs at Bleacher Report just said Sasha Banks is basically a bigger draw than Mandy Rose. You got to be out of your fucking mind. No Sasha Banks segment has 10 million views. And if it was, it probably had a celebrity in it with Snoop Dogg or something like that. Oh, Sports Illustrated wrote that, not Bleacher Report. Sorry for Bleacher Report.
Yeah, but it was featured, but like Bleacher Report like advertised like, hey, Sasha Banks, because Bleacher Report covers WWE and AEW as well. So, well, wrestling in general. But I'm looking on this. I'm looking on the SI. Oh.
Hold on, real quick.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
What year did Triple H start doing storylines with Stephanie?
2000. 1999, 2000.
Yeah, but 99, 2000.
Stephanie was an NPC character the first time she was on TV. Stone
Yep.
Cold walked past her backstage looking for somebody, and they said she was like, whatever that is, turn that down. That's too loud. Why you ask that, Ref?
No, I'm just looking at the 99 roster and seeing how I don't like it all of a sudden, as I did when I was younger. That's why.
Please tell me you talking about outside of the top level people. Like, I get if you ain't like outside of the top level people. Okay, to me, these were the top people in the 90s. And we already know the typical people: Rock, Austin, Undertaker, Triple H, Kane, Mankind. We know them. I ain't talking about them.
Undertaker ain't on the 99 roster.
He should be. He was hurt towards the end. He was on the roster until like the summer. He got hurt.
Okay, that's probably what it is.
Okay. Here's according to Sports Illustrated, here's the top 10 wrestlers of 2020. Number 10, Eddie Kingston. Pretty good because, I mean, man does awesome promos.
Eddie Kingston just got back on TV. How is he a top wrestler in 2020?
Number 9, Roman Reigns.
I love Eddie Kingston.
Number 8, Kota Ibushi.
Okay.
Number 7, Io Shirai. Rightfully so. Number 6, okay. All right, whatever. Bailey. Number 5, Kenny Omega. Number 4, Tetsuya Naito.
Okay.
Number 3, the Scotsman Drew McIntyre. Number 2, John Moxley. And number 1, Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
What?
Sports Illustrated.
I don't like the order of that list. I don't like the order of that list.
But I know. I mean, like Bailey should be at least be number 2.
I don't like that it's at least about 2 or 3 people that shouldn't be on that, period. One of those people that I love is Eddie Kingston, but he shouldn't be on that list. Eddie Kingston is one of the greatest talkers of this generation.
He should be like one of the top 5, though.
Who?
I mean, like if you were to do like
Kenny Omega should be number 1.
Not with the year that he had this year. No, he shouldn't. He's maybe in 2019, definitely not in 2020. He was barely on anything meaningful other than him working with Moxley. That he didn't do nothing in 2020.
Yeah. But then now another article, will Bianca Belair be WWE's next breakout star in 2021? She should have been a breakout star ever since when she made her debut at the Royal Rumble last year.
She had a good showing.
I know. I mean, like from like my friends that were there, that was there at Minute Maid Park. Like they told me, they're like, oh my God, like when but like when COG agreed with me. Or he liked my my deal. But no, but I mean, like my friends told me that was there at the Royal Rumble. They just said like when Bianca Belair, the moment they heard that whip, the crowd went nuts. And then when Naomi came out, the crowd went nuts, like off the roof nuts.
Yeah. Black girls are popular in the South. The South has a major black population. Now I don't know how they get reactions in like New York and stuff like that, but in the South, that makes total sense. Black girls are over in the South. Naomi's from Florida. Bianca Belair's from Knoxville. That makes total sense. And then on top of that, they understand their niche. Like specifically, Bianca Belair is over. She gets how to be a like. The only thing that's holding Bianca Belair back is smarks. That's it. Nobody else is holding her back. It's not a whole lot of smarks that like her like that. It's some, but it's not a lot of them. And Stephanie probably not liking her. That's the only thing that's keeping her off TV. If it left up to Stephanie, only the 4 horsewomen to be on TV, which they basically only been the only people on TV. They chastised Alexa Bliss for saying, I'm not a 4 horsewoman. She got in trouble for that. They got a bias for ugly women. That's what they got. They like ugly women to be on TV. Other than Becky. All 3 of them ugly except Becky Lynch.
Who ugly?
All the 4 horsewomen except Becky Lynch.
I don't know about that, man.
Attractive one out of them. Sasha looks like a little greyhound. We ain't even started with Bailey.
Oh my god.
Sasha
I don't know, man.
Even Sasha, her best asset is she looks okay in the face, but she still got a strange look. Everywhere else, I don't understand why all the drool and comfort stuff. Sasha has a very small body with not much shape to it. Like, I don't understand why people go, God, you telling me on a roster with women like Toni Storm and you telling me Scarlett Bordeaux, Sasha looks better than Scarlett Bordeaux. Would any man with brain cells say that? Brian even
Scarlett Bordeaux.
That's not true.
No, because if OG was still listening, he would probably go off.
I've said this on OG before. I've said it on the show. OG's been on there. He know that.
Nah, I would
said that.
I'll take Scarlett Bordeaux over Charlotte Flair.
I would take Scarlett Bordeaux over like 90% of the women that's in wrestling right now because she actually looks like a supermodel.
I don't know.
And she can wrestle.
I don't know about that.
Who right now, other than probably Mandy Rose and maybe an argument for Lacey Evans, that look better than Scarlett Bordeaux? That's in WWE. That's in WWE. Not, I'm sure it's people else.
In WWE currently right now.
Brian, don't even try, bro. Don't even try.
I was gonna say Thea Trinidad, but she's a free agent.
She all right. I won't put her up there on that class. She looked better than the 4 Horsewomen, but she don't look. She not on Scarlett Bordeaux level. You talking about
that?
Selena Vega? She not. Yeah. She better. She looked better than the 4 Horsewomen. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, she looked better than Bianca Belair, but that's
I don't know. Let's see. I mean, if you were like, let's see, if you want to compare blonde bombshells, I mean, let's see. Yeah, Penelope Ford. Then you have Mandy Rose and Scarlett Bordeaux.
She's just pretty.
I just don't like how y'all leaving my girl Nia out of this, man.
That's a different category of beauty, though. That's a completely different category. She up there with like big girl. That's a different.
I understand. Look, I understand Raph and OG's point about Nia Jax. It's that Tempur-Pedic love, man.
I'm surprised you are kind of a bigger guy. I'm surprised you don't like Nia Jax, Brian.
She's cool.
You kind of a bigger. You got you a bigger guy, so I'm surprised you don't like Nia Jax. I tend to see guys
Nikki Cross.
I like Tamina still. I've always liked
Nikki Cross.
Nikki Cross is cute.
She's a thick girl. She's got a nice body. She's
cute. God, what's her name? Like Thorn. What's her name? She's like half black, half Samoan. She's very attractive. I like Dakota. Io Shirai, Dakota Kai is attractive to me.
Brian, who is Thorn? That don't nobody named Thorn working WWE.
Hang on, I'll find it.
I know you talking about Shane Thorn?
No,
that's a
no.
Raph, what woman Thorn you know working WWE?
Hold on. She's in NXT. Calm down.
Oh, and that's why I don't know her. No, I believe you. I believe you. That's why I don't know who she is. They got a lot of ugly women there too in NXT. Not ugly, but they don't got the looks where they should be pushed as much as they are on TV. Like your top storylines is Candice LeRae and Dakota Kai.
Aaliyah, sexy.
Oh yeah, Aaliyah's definitely sexy. I forgot about her. She shouldn't even be on NXT. It's disrespectful to have her on NXT.
Chelsea Green's adorable. Dakota Kai's cute.
Nah, I don't know about that.
Ember Moon is cute.
No, I won't. No, she's not. She's got a nice body, but that's where the buck stops at. I want to say she's cute. I love Ember too. Love you, Ember. She's great. She's a nice girl too. No,
but Raquel Gonzalez is getting my attention.
She looks all right. She's in the Nia Jax category where she's a big, cute girl. She's in that Nia Jax category.
She's tall.
She looks all right.
She's a tall powerhouse.
She's talented too. I like Raquel Gonzalez. They need to separate her from Dakota Kai because that pairing don't make any sense. Other than the fact that they might be good friends in real life.
Vanessa Bourne. That's
she's a pretty good looking girl. Yeah.
And then Xia Li, like, oh man, I love Xia Li.
Nah, I'll pass on that one.
She
looks like what I expect an average Chinese girl to look like. She looks like an average, not ugly, not pretty. She's pretty average to me. She's about what I expect a Chinese girl to look like. That's what she is, right? She's Chinese, right?
Yeah, she's Chinese.
What's her name? Look all right from certain angles. Like she just looked like she would be fun to have sex with. Mia Yim. She like she'll be a fun like sex doll.
Oh, the Blasian baddie.
Yeah, she's got and she seemed like she'll be fun to hang out with too because she's got a personality.
Yeah, she's a pretty decent gamer.
Mm-hmm. I don't care about her gaming, but you know,
dude, she's fun to game with.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that or whatever. But now, actually, if you want to talk about cute women in NXT, you got to go to NXT UK. That's where the pretty women at. You got Candy Floss. You got Isla Dawn. You got who else is another pretty chick? Killer Kelly looks good. The pretty chicks for the NXT brand is in the United Kingdom. That's where them pretty girls at. Because I've seen a lot of them. It's a lot of chicks that look, and I'm sure I'm missing a couple of them too. They got a lot of hot. Even Piper Nevin for a big girl, she's pretty. She's a pretty girl. Yeah, she's got a little weight on her, but she's pretty though. Yeah.
Hey man, she got that thickness.
She's in that Nia Jax category too. She could lose
thickness.
And if we talking about an Impact, Perazo's cute. Ashley Madison.
Perazo's sexy.
Right? Yeah, she looks good. I like Deanna. Deanna's a gorgeous girl. Madison Rain's cute. Rosemary's decent without the makeup. I'm saying her. Sue Young is gorgeous. They got some decent looking girls over there. Kira Hogan's cute.
Kylie Ray is awesome. She's adorable. Ray, she's very adorable.
She's pretty. She's like pretty. I won't call her. She's not pretty cute. She's cute. She's a cute look, like adorable. She's all like I'm trying to think of a chick.
Girl next
she's
door
like
adorable.
That gymnast girl. Casey Cat and Zero. She's like a that type of look to me. Yeah. Or like an AJ Lee, where she's cute.
I wonder if that gymnast on Hashi if she would like probably join wrestling.
What is she, Japanese?
She's half Asian, half black, but she was the one that was in that broke the internet for the gymnastics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cause right now she's just kind of doing like a little bit of modeling here and there, but she's really kind of ever since the spotlight got off of her, now she's just kind of laying mellow. But I think she'd be a really good wrestling acquisition. I don't care which promotion she would go to, but I'm just saying she look like she would fit the mold of a good wrestler. She's strong, she's physical, she's limber.
I just found out this girl from AAA that I actually cared about, because she looked unique. I'm about to. She liked my tweet earlier. Let me find Lady Shani. She has a very unique look that I love to see in WWE. She almost looks like a Mortal Kombat character or whatever. She looks cool. She's one of the people from AAA that I actually could see doing something in one of the majors like AEW or something, because she has a character.
Yeah. She was one of the girls actually when they were doing crossover with Impact. I really wanted, she was a free agent, this is some years back. She was a free agent from AAA. She wanted to wrestle for Impact. And I was wondering why Impact would not sign her. I'm like, Impact to sign her, but they never did. And she signed back with AAA.
You know what controversial segment she was involved in Mexico, don't you?
What?
Remember when Sexy Star broke Rosemary's arm?
Yeah.
She was involved in that match, her and Hamada. So don't know major U.S. promotions want to sign her for that reason.
Did Hamada get out of jail?
I don't know. I haven't read. I didn't even know Hamada was in jail. I can check.
Yeah, they locked her ass up. She did
for that or for something separate.
Something separate.
Yeah. She's kind of an explosive, impulsive kind of person. Like she do stuff without thinking about it. Sometimes.
They don't mention her no more in Impact. People don't realize she's an original TNA knockout.
She was good too. I remember her.
Hell yeah.
Who?
Like around the late 2000s. Yeah.
Who?
Hamada.
Oh.
Yeah, she's kind of got an explosive personality. I didn't even know she was in jail. It's a suspended prison sentence. Hamada was arrested. She's been locked up for like 2 years, almost 3 years in May. Hamada was arrested on May 13, 2018 for possession of methamphetamine. What the fuck? Her arrest resulted in Pro Wrestling Wave terminating her contract and Sendai Girls Pro Wrestling stripping her of the Sendai Girls title. On July 18th of the same year, she was given an 18-month prison sentence suspension for 3 years. The same day, Hamada announced her retirement from pro wrestling, hoping to find work as an interpreter. Yeah, you damn right, because ain't nobody gonna hire you after that. How do you get caught with meth? She had a lot more going on in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, that someone who hired her to wrestle.
I think she's back with AAA, if I'm not mistaken.
Of course, that's the only place that's
I
going to
just
hire to
looked it
wrestle.
up.
Nope.
But my whole thing is this with Hamada, and I'm gonna just say this. It don't surprise me, but I'm very surprised that when this happened, I didn't know she was Sendai Girls champion. That's pretty cool.
I don't even know
But
what
I mean,
is, but yeah.
so Sendai Girls, you wouldn't. That's a Japanese promotion, a women's Japanese promotion. But yeah, I mean, methamphetamine, that's bad, man. I mean, shit. They also said like she had a lot of heat backstage in AAA because she would get into a lot of fights. They say like she was super like
combative.
She get mad quickly.
Yeah.
And
Short
so bold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, the thing I've heard from what I've heard, a lot of the women in Mexico are catty and they cut each other throats because it's not a lot of spots for women matches over there, which is why that whole match, from what I heard, Rosemary was the wrong target in that arm break. And they said Shani, Hamada, and Sexy Star had beef with each other for months. That was the boiling point that night. And then Rosemary was just caught in the crossfire. That's what happened. She didn't have as much to do with the incident between the three other girls or whatever. And she got caught in the crossfire, which pretty much blackballed Sexy Star from having any serious run ever in wrestling. Well, I mean, Mexico will probably book her again. She's not going to get booked in no other countries probably.
No.
Unless you got some piece of crap promoter that want a bad reputation. I can say this right now. Any promotion that books Sexy Star, I will never work for them. I can tell you that right now.
Sexy Star is a boxer now, by the way.
Yeah, I know. That's what she need to be doing. Somewhere she can hit and not
there was a rumor that she was thinking about getting back to wrestling. At the end of the day, she went into business for herself. And it wasn't just that she went in for herself. She did it on somebody who didn't work for the company, which makes it worse because that makes the people who hired you look bad.
Yeah.
And what made me mad with Impact was when Rosemary came back to wrestle, I believe Rosemary deserved the AAA title shot. She deserved to be Rated Reyes champion. But who did they put the Rated Reyes champion on? Tessa Blanchard. That disappointed me. I'm like, if anybody deserved to be Rated Reyes champion, it's Rosemary. But maybe I take it as maybe Rosemary just didn't want to go back over there.
It could be multiple factors. Maybe Rosemary didn't want the responsibility. It's a lot of responsibility that comes with champion that restricts your schedule. So if Rosemary is the type of person that like freedom with her schedule, she's not a good option for that. Second thing is, Raph, what your definition of deserve is people that paid their dues doing it in the ring and being a well-traveled veteran. Unfortunately, wrestling don't work like that. Tessa Blanchard has name identity because who she is, and B, to be fair to Tessa's actually a draw. She's a big draw or whatever. She's the hottest female talent right now named Taya Valkyrie.
She's in talks with Elite right now, rumor is.
I honestly hope she go to WWE, but I mean, I could see her going over to.
I don't. I mean, I mean, if she does get signed by WWE, but I don't know. I guess third time's a charm. But it's like if I've been rejected twice, it's like why would I want to go back to a company that? Why would I want to go to a company that rejected me 3 times, even though they know what she's capable of doing?
Well, it's a completely different situation. The first situation Tessa Blanchard put on herself. You cannot, despite even if you're right, act unprofessionally backstage like that. What she did to Ricochet was unprofessional. You can't do that. So that was one. I'm sure that contributed to her being fired. The second thing is you got to understand it's a completely different management in NXT than when Tessa was there the first time. Triple H is a mark and will sign anybody that the fans will ask him to hire. So she'll get hired again. Bro, we hear stories about Triple H was calling Revival, like blowing their phone up. I think he showed up at their house trying to sign them. That shows you the type of person that Triple H is. The fact that he seriously signed the Rascals, that he's talking about signing Switchblade Jay White, despite nobody knowing who he is outside of Japan. Really, a couple marks in the United States know he is. Switchblade Jay White is not Kenny Omega, and I will not go out of my way to sign him. I will be going out of my way to sign somebody like Eli Drake or James Storm, not no fucking Jay White, because they got a bunch of Jay Whites in NXT right now already. They all work exactly the same. He's just going to be Kenny Omega with a different hairstyle. That's all he's going to be. And I like Jay White for what he is in the ring, but it's 1,000 other wrestlers in WWE that wrestle just like him. He's not going to be special. They need somebody like actually before I signed him, I just thought about it. I would sign Zicky Dice before I signed him. Outlandish to replace who? Velveteen Dream, because they got similar characters. Velveteen is cooked in WWE. They probably can bring him back as Patrick Clark and make him like a heel, but he's never going to be Velveteen Dream because the marks these psychotic fucking wrestling fans won't ever get off his ass about stuff that's allegations.
Oh my god, the SJW is just.
I'm sick of it. So they need Zicky Dice to replace Velveteen Dream.
I'm just sick of social justice warriors altogether.
I don't even pay attention. The quickest way to get an insensitive comment to me or from me is to mention anything about SJWs. I will slap them down the minute they come up. I'm gonna tell you right now. If you listen to the show, if you're an SJW, my show is not for you. I can't speak for Raph and Brian, but you don't want to get on here with me and start that crap. Now, within the realms of something like transgender, I'm willing to meet you on something like that. But all this other democratic garbage, I don't want to hear about it. I'm sick of it. It's already, and then on top of that, it already led to my Twitter channel getting unnecessarily taken down. So I'm burned out, and I don't even want to deal with it no more because it's bull. I see how they operate. They control everything. That's how Twitter wanted to be. That's fine. Just don't my page.
Even like on like the YouTube comment, it's like I get like a bunch of trolls or SJWs on there too, and I'm just kind of like, you really have no irrelevant argument.
You know what, Brian? You know what I've noticed about SJWs? They're
bored.
That's one thing.
They're bored.
They got this irrational superiority complex where they think they're holier than thou because they're sticking up for everybody. So they literally, dude, I've seen them go. Their little goofy friends will tag them in a post that had nothing to do with them. They'll tag them in it, and then they'll just pile on whoever disagree with whatever SJW bullshit they talking about today. That's what the problem with SJW people is. They get an accomplishment because they're not relevant elsewhere else in life, so they get an accomplishment out of trolling people that got a different opinion.
Yeah, I just don't understand like why it's like a necessary need to complain about everything.
Makes them feel better about their life that they don't.
It's like it's a rocking chair. It just gives you something to do, but doesn't accomplish anything.
It's this thing on Twitter called mute, and I definitely will utilize
it. Also too. It's just they're everywhere. Like they complain about everything. They I'm tired. It's just like no matter what it is, it's like Jesus Christ.
That's your constituent. Some of the biggest SJWs are wrestling fans. Am I wrong, Raph?
Yeah,
it's just everything, man. They complained about like just TV shows on Netflix, stuff on YouTube. Like let it go. I understand, it's free speech. That's why it's like it's not that big of a deal. But then at the same time, it's just kind of like, shut your ass up, It's like Jesus.
By the way, y'all, this will count as our Periscope tonight. We won't be getting on Periscope because my voice will be way too sore probably after this. So this is gonna count for our Periscope for tonight.
So I gotta jump off the subject.
Of sugar.
What'd you say, Raph?
I was gonna ask Brian a question. I don't remember this. I should know this, but how many wins does Triple H have in the Royal Rumble? And when was his first win? Wasn't it 2002 his first win?
2002 was his first win, and then the second one was when it was against when Roman Reigns was champion and Roman Reigns got eliminated.
2016.
So he only has 2 Rumble wins.
2 Rumble wins.
Okay. Don't speak too quick. He might have a third one.
I don't know.
Hey, I'm good with that.
Him versus McIntyre. Don't sound that interesting to me.
Yeah, it's not appealing.
What, him and McIntyre had a segment?
In all honesty, though, I'd rather have AJ Styles versus McIntyre and AJ Styles win. That way, you have like the small guy go up against the big guy. At least you have somebody. The fans will get more behind AJ Styles than they would McIntyre.
Brian, did you just say we need a small guy to go on the big guy? It's a TV show where that exists every week. It's called NXT.
Yeah, but AJ Styles is a more believable guy to do it, though.
A believable guy in what way? Is he trained in martial arts that I don't know about?
Come on. Like he had a really good showing with Lesnar. I commend Lesnar on that match at that Survivor Series When it was AJ Styles against Lesnar, I mean, that was like that was a really good damn match. I was invested.
Brian, you do realize if Brock Lesnar wanted to, he could have ate him for lunch, right?
Yeah, just like he did Daniel Bryan.
So no, Danielson will actually be. I will believe that he can keep up with Brock Lesnar a little more. Do you know why?
But I still want Lashley versus Lesnar, and they dropped it out.
Do you know why Danielson will be able to keep up with Daniel? That's not gloss over there. Do you know why he'll be able to keep? Because he has a martial arts training background. You haven't noticed that by the kicks and stuff that he do?
Yeah, he does do Brazilian jiu-jitsu, yes.
He's trained. He's trained by the dude that trained Chuck Norris. Judo Gene LaBelle. He helped train Daniel Bryan. Why you think his finish was called a LaBelle lock before they called it the yes and no lock? That's what it was called. Daniel Bryan, he will have a better chance than AJ Styles would in the actual fight. He would, but now AJ's good. You know what? AJ Styles, I'm happy with the title reigns. I think putting another title reign on AJ Styles, I think him working with Drew McIntyre will be disrespectful. If AJ Styles was to ever have another title reign, even if he didn't, I would be content with the one he had a great run in WWE. And if he was to ever have another last title feud, do you know who I want to be against? Jeff Hardy. That's the only other person I would ever want to see him again. First of all, Jeff Hardy has the credibility. And secondly, they have similar styles. Drew McIntyre, a boring piece of shit, will do AJ Styles a disservice. Drew McIntyre needs to work with big guys that know how to that he can keep up with on a mic, that can kind of keep him balanced, like Bobby Lashley, like Matt Riddle, like Keith Lee, like MVP. He needs to work with guys like that can carry him on the mic. Because he's not strong mic. A guy like AJ Styles is not good enough. He's good. He's actually really good on the mic. He's not good enough to carry somebody like Drew McIntyre, though, or whatever. That's why they had that feud. They just had it. They just fought 2-3 months ago, didn't they? They just fought at TLC or something. And the match was what it was. But that's not something you sell on a WrestleMania card. No, that's like a B-level type pay-per-view match. I won't put that on a WrestleMania. When you got Edge coming back, actually, you know what? I'm actually okay with Triple H wrestling. I just don't want him to wrestle Randy Orton. If he wrestled like Goldberg, or if he wrestled Keith Lee or something, or Bobby Lashley, I would love to see Bobby Lashley versus Triple H at WrestleMania. That's a match I've wanted to see for a while. I love to see that. I'm okay with
to really put Lashley over. Okay,
you really hurt this. Hold on. No, first of all, you already know Triple H will beat him, but I'm just saying I just like the idea of that match on paper. So this is the thing. Listen to this, record it, whatever you need to do. You just heard the Prodigy say Triple H will add star power coming back in wrestling. Yes, you just heard me say that. I will much rather Triple H be wrestling right now because I think he retired too early. 2011 was way too early for Triple H to retire. He had another good 5 to 6 years because he keeps himself in good shape. To be 50 to 51 years old, Triple H is in exceptional shape for most 50 to 51-year-old men. And another thing is it will get him away from booking because he's terrible at it. Triple H is great at putting matches together in the ring. He's terrible at writing storylines for people, though. If you don't believe me, reference what he's been doing on WWE since 2014. And for the people that are going to sit here and try to act stupid and say he's not in control of WWE, he really started loosely being in control of WWE in 2011. That's when he started to get shadowed by Vince McMahon and be in the office and see the day-to-day of what Vince had to deal with. He got complete control of WWE at the end of 2013. By what title? COO, the Chief Operating Officer. What's the operative word of operations? Meaning you control everything. People try to forget about definitions. You can't pull that bullshit with me because I read definitions all the time. And if you look at Triple H's title, he was over marketing and creative, which means what? He put the fucking product together. So miss me with people that's talking that bullshit. Triple H has been running WWE since fucking 2014. What has happened since 2014? WWE has lost half of its audience because of Triple H. Stop blaming Vince. Vince McMahon is the quality control guy in WWE, which means he does what? He goes over what Triple H fucks up on. He edits the script. Triple H writes the script. Stop blaming Vince. That pisses me off when people do that. Triple H has been running WWE for 6 fucking years. People can try to act stupid all you want. Go look up his title in WWE. He runs the show. And you can tell by how he formats. He formats it like NXT. Nothing but fucking long matches that go nowhere. Vince does not write this show. Triple H writes it. I know how he writes, and I know people that work in WWE, so miss me with that bullshit. He fucked the WWE up with his stupid ass writing. He all he is Dave Meltzer with a fucking muscle suit on. He thinks just like him. Why do you think they get along? Who's one of the number one people on NXT conference calls all the time? Dave fucking Meltzer. Stop this lying bullshit. You cannot lie to me. That's completely against my podcast. We don't lie on here. We know Triple H been running that show. People can keep trying to pretend. He lost NXT $32 million between 2016 and 17. Stop trying to bullshit me. Triple H fucked up WWE, not Vince. Yes, Vince plays a part in it. Triple H messed it up. He's been running it since 2013. Only people that don't want to believe it is fucking marks. The numbers are there for you to read. Don't believe TJ, look it up. He fucked WWE up. I would rather him get back in the ring and wrestle. Because his job is not a booker. Triple H would admit that he don't know how to book. He's daunted by Raw being 3 hours, which is what he do to fill up time. Put nothing but matches in there. That's fucking lazy. Vince Russo will be glad to write a 3-hour show. And before anybody say he has stupid ideas, yes, he still has stupid ideas. But guess what else he did? Every show he wrote for, including Impact, guess what all of them had in common? The ratings went up. You can dislike Vince Russo for whatever personal reason you want. He is a boss when it comes to getting ratings up. Look at any company he worked for. The ratings increased.
So what led to Russo's dismissal and Impact?
Stupid people. That's what led to it. Jim Cornette was one of them. And I love Cornette. That's what led to him leaving Impact. And he got tired of fighting with people that didn't know what they were talking about, that were outdated. I love Dutch Mantel, but he only know how to really book women's wrestling. He did a great job booking women's wrestling. But if you leave it up to Dutch Mantel, Jeff Jarrett is going to be the champion a million times. Leave it up to Jim Cornette. Jeff Jarrett is going to be champion. Because guess what? They all got started by Jeff Jarrett's father named Jerry Jarrett. So they have a loyalty to this boring piece of shit named Jeff Jarrett. Vince Russo got tired of arguing with these fucking old farts, and he was like, I'll just go write and do something and start a podcast, which is what he's doing well at.
So do you see him going in any other promotion?
Nope. If he does, it'll be AEW, but I doubt he'll go back over there. Because Vince Russo. He speaks positively about them all the time, but this is why I don't think he'll go over there. The reason I don't think he'll go over there, because he'll directly clash with people like the Young Bucks. He will tell them those stupid-ass matches they put together don't make sense, and they need to add more character to their matches. I mean, cut them off. Vince Russo will last about 3 months in AEW. Because
remember
over there.
But remember when I don't know if you remember or not, TJ. I talked to Vince Russo and I sent you his message, what he sent me.
Mm-hmm.
And with I asked Vince Russo, what would it take for you to get back in the wrestling business? And if you had if you had creative freedom or whatever, what would you change? And he said he wouldn't change anything, and he has no interest of ever coming back into the business. He sent me this message.
So is that burnt out?
Yeah.
Vince Russo will be best used as a consultant for any wrestler, where he don't have to physically show up at the job, but he get on Zoom calls with them and give them ideas. Because anybody Vince Russo get around, he's going to get on their nerves, especially if they close-minded. And everybody in WWE right now, including Vince, yes, you hear me blaming Vince for some, are completely closed-minded. All of them. Vince is just the least closed-minded of everybody else. He's actually smart when it comes to booking stars, but he will get it. Vince Russo is going to blow up getting mad at the stupid shit that they're trying to get him to do. So he'll be best used where he's not physically in the office with people. He has to be a consultant where he's at his house. So if he get upset, all he got to do is mute the mic. If he go in there, either Vince Russo going to hurt somebody or he's not likely to hurt somebody because he's a Christian, but somebody's going to hurt. Can you imagine him and Cornette in the same room? They'll kill each other. Jim Cornette will literally try to cut his throat probably. He's already said it. Only thing he will kill Vince Russo if he sees it.
Fair.
That will not be a good idea.
I thought like Cornette and Russo like went ahead and just buried the hatchet.
No, Vince Russo on his end said he forgives Cornette. Cornette said he will never forgive Vince Russo. He said he will piss on his grave before he dies. That shows you how deep the hate is between. Which, if you look at it, if they bring their separate philosophies of wrestling and meet in the middle, they can be a powerful. They just got to learn how to agree to disagree.
Yeah, because I mean,
the problem with them is they're so different.
Yeah, but I mean, because Cornette his mind is still stuck on the classic of the back of the AWA days. You know, back at the territories, how they did over there. He still thinks that wrestling will still be successful if they still use that recipe. But on the same token, too, like with Vince Russo, I think like with everything going on with current events and all that kind of stuff, I think maybe if they did meet together in the middle, possibly something may work out. But what if Russo and Heyman collaborated? What about that?
It could work.
Because they both have their finger on the pulse of what's going on in the world. They both know how to elevate and promote guys.
That will work, but they will need somebody to filter a lot of the stuff that they do that won't make sense. They'll need like I'm trying to think of somebody. They'll need either Shane McMahon or like they'll need like Shane or Dutch Mantel to balance their ideas to balance their.
I would go with Shane. Because I mean, like if you have two veterans along and plus like Shane still and they all have like the really good collaboration, I really think that would work. You think so, Raph?
I don't know, man. Listen. Honestly, I think all the McMahons, including Shane, all of them, just.
I think Shane has a lot of good ideas, but I think it's just Vince is kind of like, Yeah,
but at the same time, for a lot of people that think this, and I'm gonna get probably a little bit of heat for everybody that think, oh, when Vince passes, Shane and Steph and Triple H is gonna take over. No, they're gonna do the smart thing. If UFC got over $1 billion for UFC, what do you think WWE is worth? They're going to sell that company, and they're going to get enough money and royalties for their families to live off for the rest of their life, and none of that family will ever have to work again. I promise you. It's trust me, it makes sense, Brian. Why would they take over the company? They'll make a lot of money, but they'll make more money if they did that. Why?
If Vince hands it over to the kids and they sell it.
No, I think Vince. I don't think he's going to get handed over to the kids. Period. I don't think he's going to hand it over to the kids. Period. He's going to sell it.
No, Vince is going to sell it. I wouldn't say kids plural. He's going to hand it over to Stephanie.
No. Yeah, because she won't get it.
I don't think he trusts Shane McMahon enough because Shane jumps in and out of WWE and do his own stuff. He do stuff on the side. And Vince, one thing we know about Vince don't like people that leave him. He don't. Well, this right now is a case in point. Look at when Vince McMahon sends out birthday wishes to people like Pat Patterson, Gerald Briscoe, people that's very close to him, Stephanie, Shane. Look how he sends birthday wishes to everybody other than Shane. It feels special. I love this person. It got exclamation marks. Thank you for everything. When he sends one out to Shane, it just say happy birthday, Shane. That right there shows you the type of relationship that he has with his son.
Yeah, and that's
as much stuff.
I agree. And also, I'll say this. If Vince dies before he can sell it, Linda would sell it. Because I guarantee you, Linda owns a fat-ass piece of that company. Because you guys got to realize, there's a reason NBC put so much money into WWE. There's a reason Fox put so much money into WWE. You don't think both of those companies are Republican for WWE?
Yeah.
Shane and Steph ain't going to beat that bid.
To add on to that, though, what I have heard recently, that NBC is starting to get fed up with Raw specifically. Their low ratings. They were like, bro, we could put something else in this slot. What's going on, Vince? We giving you stuff to run. We letting you run it, but pretty soon. But you know the thing that really upsets me, no matter how, because it was NBC's idea to add 3 hours to Raw. I'm pretty sure nobody in WWE wants that to happen. If you go listen to old interviews of Pat Patterson, he talked about one of the worst things they ever did was added another Raw hour to add a SmackDown and added Sunday Night Heat. They hated that, the production people. You know why? Because they had to write that. It was hard enough to write Raw as it was. They added that. Vince Russo quit WWE because they added SmackDown. Go back and listen to him. Because he had to write for both of those shows, and it was too much. So I'm pretty sure. Why would they want to add another hour to Raw when they already got to produce 2 hours of SmackDown, 2 hours of Raw? Now, me personally, by me being a creative person, y'all on here, I'm sure y'all got y'all levels of creativity. People that's listening, I love anybody that's creative. I can write 5 hours of wrestling because I like to be creative anyway. I like my brain to be stimulated with creative ideas. If I can help it, it'll be 7 days a week, but that's unrealistic. You still got to have a life. You still got other stuff to do. You can't be like that. But if it was up to me, I'd be creative. It's not a problem. The problem is the way that people think. All of them are so outdated with their thinking, and they don't have enough young people that are hip to non-LGBT narratives. Like they're not hip to non-liberal stuff. I'm talking about people. Can you imagine Trey Parker writing for WWE? A guy like Trey Parker, a guy like Mike Judge.
Oh my God, man!
The guy that wrote the early episodes of SpongeBob. People like that. Imagine them.
Or if he had like Seth MacFarlane run it.
I don't know about Seth MacFarlane. It'd be too offensive.
That'd be great. Controversy creates cash. No, quote Brian, Eric Bischoff.
Brian, it does, but you got to understand something. It's a such thing as something that's called unnecessary offensiveness. It'll be offensive to the point where you want to turn the channel, not that you intrigue. It's a difference between intriguing. Like for example, if you put a woman through a table, or remember, and you're old enough to remember this, Brian. Remember Miss Linda, the valet for what's his name? That Welsh guy. They used to come out. Adrian Street. Remember his valet, his wife, Miss Linda. Remember her?
Yeah.
It was an episode of Mid-South where he was slapping the shit out of her uncomfortably. That's what's controversy that makes logical sense. Because obviously the next logical story is A, have a babyface male come out and save her from that beatdown, or B, she's going to eventually Tina Turner his ass and beat the shit out of him. That's how you logically book something offensive. However, Seth MacFarlane, if you watch Family Guy, he picks on people just as like it's cathartic for him to pick on people. You could tell he got some type of psychological problems towards women. Look how he treats Meg. When do Meg ever win on that show? That's offensive without no direction for it. That's illogical. So I think more people will be turned off by how Seth MacFarlane writes his show. Now, let's take Trey Parker. He puts a lot of offensive stuff on the South Park too, usually through Cartman and other characters. But usually what happens, at the end, they get their comeuppance by the end of the episode. So he knows how to logically book it. Seth MacFarlane does it from a petty standpoint, which is not, you can't monetize that. Seth MacFarlane is probably good to bounce ideas off of, but I wouldn't let him be like a head writer or nothing. His stuff will be a little too on the nose. I don't think that'd be a good idea. He's way too offensive. Family Guy has gotten progressively offensive. That's why the show is terrible now. Family Guy was good like in the early 2000s or maybe late 2000s. It's been terrible in the 2010s though. That show is horrible. I can't even watch it no more.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But yeah, but all these, even the guys that wrote Ren and Stimpy, Ren and Stimpy was all right, but to me it was a little too gratuitous with the weirdness. Like it was weirdly gratuitous. I didn't like it. It was like focusing on like grotesque looking teeth and all that. Just not really my bag.
Yeah, it was kind of off the wall.
It was a little weird for me. But I mean, that guy would probably be a good writer too, because it was a successful show. It just wasn't for me personally or whatever. But bro, that's why all these shows are terrible now, because they got bad writers. All these shows now, the last network show I kind of liked a lot was Modern Family. Anything after that that's on like a basic network channel sucks. Blackish is all right, but they get SJW sometimes too. But yeah, these shows are terrible now, dude. Like
you said Blackish is terrible.
Only show with a SJW narrative that I like, because it's actually fun. Ed O'Neill's funny. That's why they got Ed O'Neill on there. You said what?
Sofia Vergara.
And I love that theme song. That hey, that's a cool song. I like it. It's a good song. I like it. But that's the only show that's kind of LGBT that I actually like. This other garbage, I can't stomach it. These cartoons can't stomach. Bro, when I was little, if we had basic cable, we grew up very poor, so we had cable very sporadically. All I would ever ask if we couldn't afford nothing else on cable was Cartoon Network. I literally, as a kid coming from school, I could watch Cartoon Network all day. Now, if I turn that crap on, if it's anything other than an old school show, I cannot watch it. It's trash. It's absolutely good, and it's offensive, like dumb humor. Like, okay, like what was that? Like, it's just dumb.
Like I still don't understand Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I don't understand Squidbillies.
They got their moments.
I still don't understand it.
Robot Chicken's not that fun. I think Seth Green is overrated anyway. But Robot Chicken stopped being funny after like season 2. That show is stupid.
But to your point though, yeah, they need to have some really good collaborative writers to write the script for WWE, because right now some of the storylines, I'm just kind of like, what, why?
The only thing right now on Raw that's currently watchable is what they're doing with Lacey Evans. The Hurt Business has significantly cooled off.
Yeah. So what was the whole thing with the Hurt Business with Shelton Benjamin and Alexander? Like, how come they're like starting to beef with each other?
To me, it seemed like Shelton Benjamin. I honestly think Shelton Benjamin's getting ready to lead WWE. I've been saying this for 6 months that I don't see Shelton Benjamin lasting because I know how he thinks. I don't see Shelton Benjamin lasting on that brand very long. He's probably getting tired of where he can't really run. However, I would not be surprised if Shelton Benjamin goes to AEW.
Oh, dude, if he goes to AEW, it'd be like, hell yeah.
But if he retired at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised either. Shelton Benjamin probably just wants to be a coach or something like that. He's probably not interested in wrestling. But
I hear MVP's on his way out. I think he doesn't plan to be there for 2 months longer.
Yeah, it's a headache. I mean, it's it's a headache.
I really hope MVP is not leaving. That'll be a terrible, terrible loss for Monday Night Raw, because he's one that know how to cut a promo.
I agree, but I just think MVP needs to be used more as a manager than a wrestler. And number 2, it's about time you take Keith Lee, because whatever you're gonna do with Keith Lee, it don't hurt business. I told you what they're gonna do. Whatever they're gonna do, whatever you're gonna do with Keith Lee, don't do it. And whatever you got going and thought of for Keith Lee, don't do it. Put him with the Hurt Business. Put him with the Hurt Business. He doesn't need to talk. Have him shut the fuck up. He doesn't need to say a word. Just put him with the Hurt Business, and everything will work for itself. And actually, what they could do a mob thing. Have MVP bring him in and give him the United States title as a gift, because MVP doesn't need it.
I don't know, man. With the roster they got now, I will gladly put that title on MVP. But MVP is a perfect champion for this reason, specifically on Raw. He doesn't need to wrestle every single week if he can talk. No, and another reason he doesn't need to wrestle every week because his body is not what he used to be. He will be the perfect person to make that belt feel special, because you know you're only going to see him wrestle on pay-per-view and on occasion. The big problem with the WWE title is it's on TV too much, and it makes it feel unspecial. Because when you got the WWE champion fighting everybody in 20-minute matches, when the pay-per-view come up, it ain't gonna mean nothing. I'm against WWE title matches with the occasional gimmick stipulation. I'm against WWE title matches going longer than 10 minutes in general. And I'm talking about all the time. I don't like WWE title matches going more. Most WWE should be performers and not wrestlers.
Yeah, I just think like how we talked about before, man, just kind of like reduce the pay-per-views.
That's not going to ever happen. So realistic, because they get too much money for it. Realistically speaking, what they need to do is they need to start taking the brand split seriously and balance out the roster with enough talent where you can actually watch the pay-per-view separately. That's where a lot of the problems come in at. The talent distribution between Raw and SmackDown is too lopsided. SmackDown got completely shafted doing the draft. The following people right now on Raw should be on SmackDown. Drew McIntyre. I'm trying to think of somebody else that's on Raw that I probably should on. I have to look at the Raw roster, but I'm trying to think people that's in the main event right now. A couple of the women will benefit from going over there too right now, actually. They probably can use Asuka over there. So she'll have to switch belts. She would have to get the SmackDown belt. But Asuka could be used over there. They just need some star power. They don't have enough star power over there. Because think of guys like Roman Reigns. What competition does Roman Reigns right now have for that belt? He only could fight Jimmy Uso so many times. We just lost Raph. You still there?
I'm here.
You dropped. You said I mean what? What were you about to say?
I don't remember.
Okay. So yeah, so that's a big problem with the WWE right now is the fact that it's not evenly distributed across the brands. They don't have enough people on between both shows to even out these pay-per-view schedules. Because the idea you thinking WWE ever going to reduce their pay-per-view schedules is unrealistic. That's never going to happen. That's like asking Raw to go back down to 2 hours. That's not likely to happen because they get all this unnecessary. I should say not unnecessary money. Extra money is never unnecessary. They get all this undeserved ad money from being that third hour. They got to have extra, what's those damn commercials, Sonic commercials, and all that garbage throughout the night or whatever. I will say this: I love the idea of Lacey Evans and Ric Flair being together. And tonight she cheated and helped he cheated and helped Charlotte win. I'm sorry, he cheated and helped Lacey beat Charlotte. I love what it's going.
I agree. Can you hear me, TJ?
I hear you just fine. I was just sending this tweet out. You can go ahead and bring up whatever you want.
I was just gonna say, listen, man, WWE. Yeah, we talk about their shitty storylines, their shitty booking. There's nothing we could do about that, but we can help it. And like we said, one thing that would help it. I mean, it's not gonna change it, but it will help it to where it's better than what it is now. And that's if they drop. You have to release about 50 bodies from your roster. You guys got 200 and something wrestlers. Everybody's getting thrown around. Bookings getting thrown around. And it's getting to the point where it's a headache, like we talk about. Drop about 50 guys, because to me, you shouldn't have no more than 30 guys on each brand.
Yeah, I mean, and with those, after you drop those 50 people, you need to take about 50 people and make some factions out of them. Put them, distribute them throughout the tag team division, and make maybe Max Challenge.
I mean,
make mixed tag division too, probably.
I mean, there only needs to be three, no more than 5 fractions in WWE. I'll say no more than 5, but I can name 3. They can have the Hurt Business. They could have
make it an even number. Make it about 6.
6
to 8, because you got to have at least 4 on both shows. Because when they done feuding with each other, what they gonna do? I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I remember back in the NWA games, they had all types of fractions.
Yeah,
and they had managers
temporary or permanent. They switched in and out. You'll have the occasional Luger and Sting teaming up. You'll have Flair and Piper teaming up. You'll have Flair and Savage.
And if MVP, let's say MVP leaves, you know who should manage her business?
Titus O'Neil,
Teddy Long.
Yeah, I would love that. But
think about what he did back in the day for NWA with the Undertaker and all those people, man.
You know what? No, I want to agree with you. I'm just trying to think. Teddy Long these days seem like he lost a little bit of his gusto. Like when you see him come back for little segments like Legend Night and all that, he just seems like it's his heart not in wrestling no more. But I mean, in the perfect world, I love that. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Let's just say this: Teddy Long first as a secondary. If Teddy don't work out, put Titus O'Neil with it, because Titus O'Neil can talk.
How you feel about Jackie?
Jacqueline?
Yeah.
I don't think her promo skills are strong enough. She'll be a good bodyguard to have out there to beat people up. I don't think she got convincing enough promo skills though. Her voice is too soft. If you want to pick a female and take them out of the ring, put Naomi with her. If you want just out of the ring, you just want somebody that's just a manager, and take somebody out of the ring, put Naomi there. But the ideas we said the first time was good. Teddy Long will be a good first one for me. A strong second will be Titus O'Neil. Because Titus O'Neil is at the point in his career where he can't even wrestle, nor should he even entertain the idea of wrestling because he got 2 left feet. But a guy like I would say Titus O'Neil. Dana Brooke got some longevity as a manager too. At some point, she should be like a muscle. So she could be with I put her with Riddick Moss. Try to get Riddick Moss over. Put her with Riddick Moss. Matter of fact, Riddick Moss should be with Riddick Moss, Austin Theory, and Mandy Rose, and Dana Brooke should be a faction. I love to see them as a faction.
Okay, I can.
Because Riddick Moss got the size. He got the arrogance to him too. I honestly think long term, Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose gonna do a lot better as heels. I think they're gonna do way better as heels. If they turn them heel right now and let them loose on the women's division and put Lana with them as their manager, they'll get some serious heat.
I would even build something with Bray Wyatt. You know what? Because this is better than them rivaling. Because we already know if these two rival, WWE is gonna fuck it up. So you know what? Build a faction with Bray Wyatt and Killer Cross. Don't make them a tag team, but build a faction with them too. I mean,
yeah, whatever they do will have to be extremely temporary. It'll have to be extremely temporary. I'm not interested in seeing them doing nothing long term.
Why you say that?
Because they two people that'd be better off fighting each other.
But that's why I said they would be better fighting each other. But we all know WWE will fuck it up, so we're going to avoid them from fucking it up.
And you know another fear I got with that, Raf? Another fear I have with that is not enough people that's talented enough to go against them. They don't have nobody equally talented enough to, because you got to keep in mind, when you have a faction that's a heel, you have to have equally talented baby faces to go against them.
Yeah.
And I don't think they have enough. I'm trying to really pull somebody out, Rap. I can't think.
They don't have it. You're right. They don't have it. They would just have to, I don't know, be undefeated.
And I can tell you that right now. He definitely ain't it. You know, they want him to be it, but he ain't. And I already got a feeling when Seth Rollins come back, they're gonna try to give him another faction. And he's gonna bore the shit out of us on SmackDown. At this, but I mean, you definitely gave me something to think about. You know what I mean? Because I try to before I make a statement I try to really think about the reason I'm so vehemently, I can barely even say the word, and so fixed on being upset at Triple H is because I tried to give him a chance. I looked at every single angle. This guy is the direct reason why this company messes. There's no way to get around it. You can try to get around it as much as you want. He is the number one reason NXT and the main roster is horrible. And then Bruce Pritchard being a guy that ain't very confrontational, not helping. For Triple H needs somebody around him in that Bruce Pritchard type position that's going to tell him when he's wrong. Bruce Pritchard is not that person. You need a guy like Vince Russo or somebody. Or I know people can you think it's somebody other than Vince Russo? Okay, like a Cornette. Cornette will be a guy that'll tell Triple H when he's wrong. There's nobody around Triple H right now. Vince is too old. He's too sickly. Vince is too indifferent to the product. Now he's got his money. As long as you're not messing up guys like Roman Reigns and all, he don't care that much. He's too indifferent. Vince will be the guy that'll balance out Triple H, but he's too old now. So you need a guy like Jim Cornette that got the wisdom to tell Triple H, because Heyman's not going to do it. Heyman's another guy that's too job scared because he can't go nowhere else. He can go to AEW, but I think Jim Cornette I'm sorry, not Jim Cornette. Paul Heyman's made too many enemies out of people to go to AEW. I think it's a lot of people that wouldn't want to work for him. So it's just, I mean, the WWE's in a real tough spot. Real tough spot. Matter of fact, Rav, this is what we can start doing. We can start going on Twitter and reading some of these comments to what people think about Raw tonight. Let me just finish this tweet. Is there anything you want to add to the last statement I said before we do this?
No, I just wanted to add and just say, as far as Monday Night Raw go, we always see tweets and reports that WWE does not understand or know why fans shit on Raw, and they don't know why they think fans just aren't happy with anything, and that's not the case. The case is you don't take your time, not just to write, but you don't take your time to book and to what's the word? Yeah, whatever the word is, they don't do that. To me, I don't think they need to stop signing talent. Don't sign any more talent. You need to drop about 50 bodies, and then after you drop about 50 bodies, you need to send somebody's back to NXT and somebody's up to the main roster. The Undisputed should be on the main roster. They should. People like them. They're drawing. They've been drawing for a long time.
I'm kind of at a crossroads with the Undisputed Era ever really leaving WWE NXT, and this is why. I honestly think outside of Adam Cole, I don't see the rest of them making it long in WWE because they won't be able to adjust to the pressures that come with being on live TV.
Exactly.
I honestly don't think they would. That's why I'm kind of at a crossroad. The only way I will ever be interested in seeing if the Undisputed Era get caught. First of all, I think Adam Cole should be turned into a manager. He's way too small. He's a great talker, but he's too small to be taken seriously as a threat of a faction. He's way too small. So I think honestly, when they get called up, I will have them kick Adam Cole out. Like, bro, we're getting tired of you. We haven't really went nowhere with you in this.
I'll put the cruiserweight title on Adam Cole.
Or that, which that's likely not going to happen. Which it's not a bad idea, but I don't think it's going to happen. And, so kick him out of the group, let him be somebody's manager. The other 3 people get taken over by Finn Balor or Killer Cross. That's the only way I would ever be interested to seeing that group getting called up. Because the other 3 of them, Fish, O'Reilly, and what's his name? Dean Malenko, the one that looked like Dean Malenko.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
They don't have a range to last.
Yeah, I agree 100 with it. But I mean, Bobby Fish, you won't see. Bobby Fish is injury prone. Since he's went to NXT, he's been getting injured more than I've ever seen him have been injured in his career. So I don't think his body's gonna hold up to the main roster. So I would replace Bobby Fish.
Yeah, shop one. I agree with you on that. I just processed what you said. Yeah, he's way too old. Bobby Fish, great technician. He got to WWE about 10 years too late. He got to wait 10 years. He was already in his 40s, near 40 when he got. That's way too old to become the WWE.
Yep, that's about it for me.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, honestly, I'm not looking forward to anybody being called up from NXT other than probably Killer Cross. It's just they haven't done enough. Maybe Rhea Ripley, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure if Rhea Ripley got the confidence, though, to really be a main eventer or whatever, because a lot of when she had that belt, she kind of looked out of her league. So she's got a good personality, but I'm not so sure that she's got the longevity and selfishness to she reminds me a lot of Asuka. A big issue I have with Asuka is the fact that she let WWE be an undefeated streak, and I will never understand that. B, I don't think she's got the political selfishness to be a long-term champion. And I honestly think Vince McMahon recognizes that too, and that's why all her titles are short. She don't got the political cutthroatness to really last with WWE. But there's no way I would let them. And whoever signed her from Japan should be filming at WWE right now that they messed up something hot that she had going on, like a 900+ day winning streak. That was not a smart move by WWE doing it. I think they left a lot of money on the table doing it. It was a lot of money to be made, and I think still to this day, it's a lot of money to be made in Charlotte versus Asuka in a great women's match. That honestly should be happening at WrestleMania. Charlotte versus Asuka should be for the main event for the women's title. Maybe in an Iron Woman match, or maybe a 20 or 30 minute Iron Woman match, or something like that. I don't even care if it's on the kickoff show. It need to be happening, and that'll definitely incentivize people to watch their kickoff show. I can tell you that. It was Erica Fontaine, somebody that Brian brought up. Yeah, you know who Erica Fontaine is, right?
No.
Whatever. So yeah. Oh yeah, let's get into these tweets. I'm sorry, I've been sending out tweets like the last couple of minutes saying what's up. Because I thought
where Brian go? Brian had to leave.
I mean, it just dropped him off randomly. He probably, I don't know what he did, but he'll pop back on if you want to come back on. He just randomly left. And I didn't even know he was gone because I was switching screens. I just came back and it showed that he was gone. Yeah. He probably licking his wounds because I don't like his girl Bailey.
I like Bailey.
Yeah, bro. Did you see that when Mandy and Sonya Deville was running down in the street with like they butt showing? Did you see that?
Mm-mm. It was a YouTube video.
It was a little something that I wouldn't say a YouTube video. It came up on Twitter or whatever. If I can find it, I'll send it to you. Or whatever. They was doing something for like LGBT, some type of.
Ain't they dating or something?
No, they don't date. Mandy Rose is heterosexual.
Oh, okay.
They best friends in real life. Now, Mandy Rose dated another girl. She dated this chick that Rollins used to mess with, Jor Schreiber or some girl that got in trouble for putting some racist stuff up on one.
Yeah. She had the Nazi stuff she put up.
Yeah, that's who Sonya Deville used to date. No, Mandy Rose was dating Tino Sabatelli for a while. I don't know who she dates now, if she's dating anybody, but the last documented person she was dating was Tino Sabatelli. who honestly could have had a good run in WWE if he wasn't so injury prone. And I think that was probably because he was taking something. He had to be taking something.
Yeah,
He
was still I don't mean to be mean to that guy, but I think AEW signing him was just a tax write-off. I think what happened was because there was a time AEW signed a lot of people. Because remember we said their roster was overloaded.
Yeah.
And then a couple months later they dropped him. I think they did that because when you have so much money, you got to spend it because you're only allowed to have. A lot of people don't know that the government only allows you to have so much money.
Of course, yes. The IRS was that was the case.
So I think that was a Tony Khan with a tax write-off. Like, let me spend this money, and I could just drop these MFers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree with you on that. I was looking at this Mandy Rose picture. I'm about to tag.
I'm surprised Vince ain't got that. I mean, the IRS must let Vince get away with a lot. God damn.
But that's good. When you have money like Vince got and the connections you got, you going to get away from that. You're going to get away from that a lot more times than not. Vince McMahon got way too many he got way too many connections for anybody to really be keeping checks and balances on him like that. And like I said, I still to this day believe that Vince McMahon was instrumental in making sure Andrew Yang didn't make it to become president. If you don't think he uses connections to get that taken care of, think about that for a second.
I believe it.
Especially, see, the problem that Andrew Yang did wrong was he made it public too often. And if he get in office, he's going to go out the Vince. I would have kept that kind of on the wraps until I got on the office. That's just me personally. It ain't like a politician don't go into office.
I think somehow he was pressured to drop out because it was strange. Him and a bunch of people just dropped out randomly. They didn't say why or nothing. They were just like, "Yeah, we drop out."
Right. Yeah. Let's see what else happened on Raw. I had took a while. It took a break to let the people that's typing about it online make it easy for me so I don't have to watch it. But a whole lot of it don't sound that inspiring.
I doubt it was even anywhere near expiring, man.
Keith Lee was interviewed by Taylor Braxton. Lee, Sheamus walks in. Lee says if Sheamus is here to rub his face with the loss, now isn't the time. Sheamus, blah, blah, blah. So they trying to get Sheamus over Miz and the Morrison interrupted. This leads to a challenge to the tag later. Oh, God. Just stop focusing on Sheamus and also let Miz just get the title already. If not, keep Miz away from boring people like Sheamus if you're not going to put the title on. Elias versus Jeff Hardy sounds pretty good, but this is not something I would be putting on matches outside of pay-per-views because these are two legitimate main eventers. As Elias and Riker walk down to the ramp, Elias says he hurt himself while recording music and can't fight. Riker is going to take, but that was smart. That's good heel that they did that. They found an intelligent way for him to get out of the match. I like it. We get to Riker versus Jeff some type of way. Riker beats Jeff, which is smart. You want to put the younger heel over. And he beat him with a roll-up. Of course he did. Everybody lose the roll-ups. I like WWE. Do you know how to write a creative booking other than the roll-up? Like literally, it's like 3 roll-ups in a night most of the time. Or at least it feels like it is. Or is that just me, Raph? Does it feel like it's way too many roll-ups in wrestling these days?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Like, that's so uncreative. What about, like, the dusty finish or putting somebody's foot on the rope or somebody barely – or just coming up with any type of creative way to make sure –
see, I'm more – you already know I'm more of an in-ring guy. But at the same time, I still feel like there was a time the DDT was a deadly move. There was a time when you were laid out on that mat and I hit that leg drop, whether it was a Hogan leg drop or whatever, you were done.
Yep.
Because in real life, you would be done. Now, guys get hit with DDTs, leg drops, hit with barbed wires, electrocuted, and they get up like they Frankenstein or something. And that just irritates me. And then I'm watching New Japan. I love New Japan. Great workers. But at the same time, like I said, watching Wrestle Kingdom, I fell asleep on the second match. Woke up. I had to be asleep for about 45 minutes. I had to. And they were still fighting.
They're really
and I'm like, yo. Yes, and it's like, I like these two guys, but we don't need a 45-minute match, especially if you're going to do a part 2 on the next couple of pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, that's so uncreative. What about, like, the dusty finish or putting somebody's foot on the rope or somebody barely – or just coming up with any type of creative way to make sure –
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it kind of is what it is at this point. But bro, that show is so terrible and unwatchable. I don't even know where to start, really.
Monday Night Raw is just horrible, man.
Yeah, it's just you wouldn't even know that, bro. And this is a big fit. I knew going because I want to get excited about wrestling, but pointless basically. I knew going into tonight's episode that they were not going to follow up properly on Legends Night. Goldberg was not mentioned that I know of. I can finish reading the results of Raw, but I don't think he was even mentioned. And this is something that people, because on the Raw, I'm sorry, Rap, did you hear about how the Goldberg versus McIntyre segment ended last week on Raw? Did you hear about that?
It got cut off early, you said.
Yeah. But what led up to the feud? Basically, Goldberg's axe to grind when he came out to the ring was the fact that McIntyre, all you do is disrespect the legends and all of that, which is completely untrue. He's always working out with legends. A lot of legends like it. So that nobody put any thought into writing that and making sure it's TV. So that was stupid. So his whole thing, the reason I'm challenging you, I'm coming out here I'm speaking up for all these legends that you disrespect. So that was the angle he's coming from. So they already coming out the gate with this ridiculous bullshit. And then he shoved him down. And right before McIntyre was able to do anything, the show cut off. Actually, no, the shove happened after the fact. It was caught by the WWE cameras, but it wasn't on air. So I think they put that up later in videos and all that. But the last thing we saw was them getting face to face. I think the thing cut off after that. So meanwhile, last week on WWE Raw, Randy Orton was going around harassing various legends and all that, pretty much going into this goofy legend killer bullshit he did back in 2004, 2005. Or maybe even started before that, probably started in 2003. But wouldn't it make more sense for Goldberg to come out and challenge Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre? Or am I putting too much more thought in it than WWE did?
Yeah, that would make sense for Goldberg to come out and challenge Randy Orton, but how many rivals does Randy and Goldberg really have?
One.
Exactly. If you don't think there's a reason those two hasn't face-to-face more often, it has to be a reason. Because remember when back in the day when Goldberg had beef for Evolution, they didn't build the rival with Goldberg and Randy up for too long. Their rival was pretty short.
But right back then, Randy Orton was so young, I'll give him a pass on that one. And honestly, let's ask ourselves, is Randy Orton versus McIntyre even the most marketable feud? It's not a very exciting sounding feud. Now it'd be exciting because we just desperate for any type of name identity to face off each other in a feud. But back when the roster was loaded with stars, and between 2002 and 2004, there wasn't much demand for Randy Orton versus Goldberg. It's nice to have it, but yeah. Let me see what Triple doing to see if you want to hop on at least with us for a little bit.
Triple OG.
Yeah, let me see what he's doing. I know he said he was quite busy the last time he said something, but let me see if he at least want to jump on at least for like 30 or 40 minutes. Lashley coming out, so it sounds like Raw actually got interesting for one. Hold on. So OG probably would have been able to shine a little bit of light on this.
Yeah.
Right, what you over there whipping up, man? That sounds like you making some pretty good food.
Nah, I'm putting some stuff in my dishwasher.
Oh, okay, cool. You can just do some. Yeah, let's just rattle through this real quick. I just checked OG and asked him could he get on for at least 30 minutes because we probably let this go a little while or whatever.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like I said, I like doing podcasts. I like doing stuff like this, so I'm always open. I'm always open.
Ryan with an opposing viewpoint makes for a good dichotomy of the show because most of the stuff we don't agree on, which is fine. It adds an interesting dynamic to the show. Okay, so yeah, Jeff. After a bit of a back and forth. Oh, actually, no, Jeff won. So Jackson Riker won the first time. Hardy grabbed the mic and said Elias isn't hurt and he should face him. Hardy claims Elias is scared. Riker is better than him. Elias tell Riker not to get involved with a wink, whatever that means. After a bit of back and forth, Hardy hits the twist of fate, followed by the swanton for the win. So at first it say Riker won, and then Jeff. So I'm guessing they had 2 matches. Dude, this shows you that they don't know what's going on Raw right now. The fact that they have to have fucking 2 Jackson Riker fans, like he's that interesting. Riker's all right, but I don't know if he's a guy that outweighs 2 segments of him. Keith Lee and Sheamus after that against Miz and Morrison already sounds like they're boring as shit. Miz and then Keith Lee and Sheamus won. This is a situation where I would have Miz and Morrison win, but hey, whatever. Backstage, Triple H says he didn't come here to fight since Orton can't understand what legend should mean to him. Triple H is going to show Orton. Triple H accepts. So they fighting at the Rumble, or they fighting tonight. Then Keith, yeah, bro, they don't know what they're doing with this show. Keith Lee and Sheamus had a 1-on-1 match. Wait a minute, didn't Keith Lee just tag up with Sheamus? Hold on, yeah, they just tagged up against Miz and Morris. Yeah, this show is so unorganized and terrible, bro. Absolutely.
I told you, man, they don't know what they're doing. We get the same matches every week, and a lot of the matches they do either don't make sense or, you know, the characters and stuff we just don't need the match. You know what I mean? So right. I don't know, man. I just don't even. That's why a lot of times I either forget they're on or I don't even watch, bro.
A lot of the times we don't even remind you, Rap. You probably ain't even gonna know it's on. Honestly, you probably won't even know it's on if we. So what we can do, Rap, after we end this video at about maybe 10, we can come on and do it. I mean, very brief, like 15, 20-minute wrap up of Raw, just to see if people get on here after Raw. That's all I want to tell. That's the only purpose of this. So maybe at like 10, we can get on, do a little last minute wrap up or whatever.
Okay.
For like a good solid 15, at the most 20 minutes. Because I'm curious to see the reason I think the numbers right now are low is because people watching Raw right now. That's why we only got like 30 people on here. Other than that, you already know how we be doing it. I already know how to be on here or whatever. But yeah, we test. And hey, honestly, if that 15 to 20 minutes do well, we might leave Periscope after this week. We might actually just come over here. Now, I'm always going to be on Periscope doing something, be it videos or something, until March when it ends. But we might bring the body. If the numbers look right, we probably come over because we're going to do another test run on Wednesday and see how many AEW fans come on.
Okay.
Yeah, because right now we on YouTube, we on Twitter, we on Periscope, and on Haps all at the same time.
We on all those at the same time.
From my channel, we are. I don't know about y'all's, but from my channel, we are. Yeah.
I didn't know you could do that on Haps. That's pretty.
Yeah, you can do that. Go into your settings, you can do it. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure I'm doing it because I already connected mine to all of those. So I just didn't know it live streamed at the same time.
Bro, I'm just sitting here looking at the like count that's building up for Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose, a picture she put out, who's watching Raw. She's doing more for the Raw ratings than the writers are. And it got 2,000 likes already. She posted this damn thing at 7 o'clock. It's already at 2,000 likes. 2,600. Hold on, what the hell just happened? Oh shit! John Morrison and Keith Lee just broke one of the turnbuckles off.
Oh.
I don't know if that was staged. The way the rope came off, it could have been, because I highly doubt that they would have let the ring. You know what I mean? I doubt they would have. This ring would have been. Well, somebody would have been. Yeah, they probably had that pop off. See, the thing with this is, why haven't they showcased this with Keith Lee a long time ago? They should have emphasized his strength the first night he was on Raw. You gonna wait for him? How long Keith Lee been on Raw, Raph? At least 3 months.
About 2 months.
2-3 months. Okay, so why didn't they emphasize this the first? This company is so retarded, dude. Hold on, real quick. Let me go. I think it sounds like I hear somebody just theorized on here that what if Triple H is setting Randy Orton up for Damian Priest? And I was like, you know what? That'll probably be boring as hell, but at least it's fresh. At least it's something new.
You know what? I can't believe I'm saying this, but if it was up to me, I would give whatever Randy's doing now, I would give it to Damian Priest, and I would just take Randy off TV. I would give Damian Priest Randy Orton's position only because yes, it's boring, but it would look better if it was a fresher face. We just don't like it because it's Randy. Smart. You know what I mean?
Exactly. No, I like it. I like the idea of what they're doing. Punisher Martinez should be the new legend killer. The problem with Punisher Martinez, I want to like this dude. Two things. He needs to stop wrestling cruiserweights like cruiserweights. That's a problem. How you this big, badass, long hair dude and you're not beating the shit out of people? So he needs a little more of an aggressive. He's a little too meek. And I get he's trying to go for the laid-back assassin look. But if you're going to be like that, you cannot wrestle like a cruiserweight. Even if he don't get intense with his personality, he needs to start wrestling like more of a bigger wrestler. Bro, we've seen it's endless amounts of people that are extremely athletic, that are bigger guys. How does that make you stand out when you wrestle like that? That's what a problem is, that a lot of these people, they get upset and they fans get upset. Oh, why are you trying to put him in a box? Because how is he standing outside of the box? First of all, by working like a big guy. Brian Cage does it. Keith Lee does it. Goddamn, who else works big like that in athletic? I'm sure it's others, but those are the first people that stand out. Supermax works like that. It's literally no shortage of big guys that wrestle like cruiserweights. So Damian Priest's biggest asset will be slowing down. He needs to slow down in the ring. He wrestles way too quick. And the fact that you let this little ass baby body guy like Johnny Gargano get so much offense and then beat you, already killed him on, killed his credibility on the rival. Yeah, but they just did something cool on TV, Raph. They had the Hurt Business just beat the shit out of Matt Riddle, so that hurt. I mean, so that helps out with his character or whatever. So that's something interesting. Two badass guys. Man, OG must be having connection problems. I can't even send him a text message right now. Yeah,
that's probably what it sounds like.
Well, it said send again. I think it'll let me know in a second if it did, but I think it's sent again. Yeah, guys like Damian Priest. And I want to close the conversation off soon with what I put in the title. What it's like to be a wrestling fan, or what's the favorite thing to be. The best reason right now to be a wrestling fan is that the WWE Royal Rumble is coming up. I honestly wish it was sooner, because man, it seems like an eternity. Because I can tell you this, Raph, depending on how they book the Royal Rumble is going to determine if I take a break from WWE. I mean a long break. I'm talking about a break probably to SummerSlam. I might watch the Royal Rumble. I might watch WrestleMania because they usually try on that show. But pretty much after that, I'm probably going to take, as far as week-to-week TV, I'm going to probably take a break until after WrestleMania. The Royal Rumble is going to be the pay-per-view because it's constantly too much of a burner. And now that we got all this other stuff that we interested in, all these other topics that we can discuss, that I'm getting more into video gaming now, WWE is just not a priority in my life no more. And they're giving me absolutely, and I'm not even going to lie, bro, I'm not even motivated to get in the ring. And that shows you how much WWE is killing my spirit. When I'm with me, a lifelong wrestling fan, this, Raph, I'm not even motivated to start training in WWE no time soon. I've been out of the ring since September, since mid-September. And I'm not even looking forward to getting back in the ring. That's how much right now I'm disenchanted with this product.
I don't blame you.
Can make up whatever excuse they want. You can take this to the bank right now. You listening to the Turn Up with the Prodigy. Matter of fact, let me try to throw out a new logo up there just to see what people think it look like. See, the thing I don't like about this image upload thing, they only regulate it to a window like somebody that's watching wrestling will see it. Whereas it should be you see this big box we got in the background here to work with, Raph, where our title box is and our pictures. You see that?
I seen it.
Big blank, that gray blank space.
Yeah.
That you should be able to put a picture right there. That is way too much unused space. And if y'all listen to this, anybody from Haps right now, please make it what we can utilize that backdrop. That's too much unused space.
So we can use that space for a picture or something.
Now, what the picture does, it take up a window like how me and you are on the videos talking to each other. It replaces where a person's face will be at. That's all it really does.
Yeah, so you're saying the screen should be bigger.
No. Or that, the screen could be bigger, or we able to use that blank space in the background, that grayed out square. We should be able to use it. Are you watching Raw right now?
Or a background or something.
Right. Are you watching Raw right now? Did you hear me Monday night?
What you say, man?
Are you watching Raw right now?
No, I'm actually watching a movie.
Oh, okay. My question from now on going forward is going to be, what kind of movie are you watching? Like, I'm not even going like actually. It's going to be, what movie are you watching, Raph?
Yeah. Right now, I'm watching a movie called The Hitcher.
The Hitcher. Okay, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
And that's
this
guy, Raph, I want to get into more. If WWE keeps being terrible, I'm gonna get in my mode while I start by watching movies, because I haven't done that in a while.
You know, I want to do a podcast. You know, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. I want to do a show with you guys, and we just talk about movies, and have people come on the show and tell us their favorite movies, and maybe we can interview some producers or something. You know what I mean?
Come up with a day of the week, and I'm down for it.
All right. Even
if I got to cut a day out of my schedule, I'll do it.
I want to. Well, if we do that, then I want to be on. I want to schedule something where you guys are open, because I'm always open. You know what I mean?
You know what, Raph? I just thought about something. You know the perfect day to do that on?
What?
Friday, when people getting off work.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Because people are in movie mode. Let's set that for Friday, because I get on with Brian on Saturdays. I help produce his show, but only Brian dictates how Brian's show works. I only can go on there if he needs me to come on there. If Brian don't get on, I can't get on. You know what I mean? Because I'm off on weekends. My schedule, I'm off on Fridays and Saturdays. On my channel, we are off. Unless, on occasion, you know what? I will say this. January will be the most I will ever go on live, probably, on Fridays and Saturdays, because it's a lot of political stuff to be discussed. After January, Fridays, I should say, getting closer into the sun as it get warmer outside. When the spring come, I'm completely taking off on Friday, because I'm gonna be outside. Fridays and Saturdays, I'm gonna be completely taking off, and maybe the occasional Thursday, depending on what I got going
I agree.
on. Rav just took what he thought about WWE. He just flushed the toilet. That's how much Rav care about WWE.
Well, of course, man. I just look at it like, people got to realize. I might tell people I've been a wrestling fan since '93, but '93 is what I remember. My mom tells me stories. Listen, I used to watch wrestling with my grandpa when I was a baby.
Yep.
When I was a little baby, like when I wasn't even old enough to know what I was watching. So I've been watching wrestling since diapers all my life. So don't get it twisted. But I know when I watch something if it's shit or not. And people don't understand that most wrestling fans, and we talk about this other time, they're yes men. You can't say this. You can't say that. Why do you say this? Why do you say that? Why are you a fan? If you don't like it, don't watch it.
I feel for your spirit, bro. You started watching wrestling at one of the worst time periods to watch wrestling, man. But at least you watched it with your grandpa, probably made it more exciting. I will say that. When you watch it with somebody, then you can make it more enjoyable.
I mean, I was watching WCW. I was watching WCW religiously when they were horrible. And I knew they were horrible, and I was a little child. I was a child. I knew they were horrible, but I was still watching religiously.
Right. See, I was a little more naive as a kid, where I was the type of person that didn't know why the show was bad. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just wasn't that type of kid that questioned stuff. That just wasn't me.
My cousin used to always tell me, he was like, man, when you were a baby, your favorite wrestlers were George the Animal Steel, and a dude named The Punisher. Realized I never knew who the fuck The Punisher was until a couple years ago.
Undertaker.
And I wait. So a couple years ago, I went on YouTube and they had an Undertaker promo in WCW, and his name was The Punisher. And I said, oh my God.
You was naturally drawn to the Undertaker.
Yeah, I was like, you mean to tell me I've been an Undertaker fan for this long?
You know the irony of that? People think him and Paul Bearer met in WWE. No, they did not. They met in World Class. He was the Undertaker's manager for one night in WCCW. and that's how they met each other. That's how they met each other.
Yeah, but I love the animal stare. My mom said when I was a baby, she'd always get on me because I'll go around like biting stuff, like the couch and stuff. And I used be like, what? She'd be like, yeah, you was a huge George the animal stare stuff. Yeah. And she said,
George Steele, to this day, will still be recognizable by people because he actually had a character. I like George Steele.
Yeah, George Steele is a man where they might not know his name, but if they see him, they know. Even people who hasn't watched wrestling knows that, oh, that's the man that used to go around and bite stuff, right?
He bite turnbuckles and all that. Yeah, he was a good compliment, especially when he was involved with Miss Elizabeth. He was a good complimentary character or whatever.
He is characters like that I've always tell people. Yes, I tell people, I'm not gonna lie. I like the in-ring stuff better, but I also tell you on the show, and TJ's my witness, I like both. I want to see the in-ring stuff and the character stuff.
Yeah.
Together, not just one. And nowadays in wrestling, they can't do both. I look at
Brian he appreciates the in-ring work, and I get it.
Okay.
And that's very interesting and peculiar for Brian, because Brian grew up in the 90s. He grew up when wrestling was on fire. Brian was a teenager in the 90s, like early to mid-90s. He was like 12 or 13 years old. So that's strange to me that Brian will like this crap. I would think he'd be thumbing his nose at this shit.
Yeah, I mean,
I was born in the 2000s. You would think I would appreciate this more. But Brian literally.
I agree with Brian. I praise the in-ring stuff too. But to me, I feel like if you're an in-ring wrestler and you can move the ropes and you could work circles around everybody in the locker room, but if you can't go out and cut a promo, if you can't go out and look presentable, and if you can't go out with something that's going to draw me to you, a character, I'm not going to like you, even if it's the other way around.
Even with people that are known for that in-ring style or back in the day, let's take a guy like Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, Perry Saturn. Bro, they will run circles around these people now with ring work because even though people considered them vanilla midgets and all that bullshit, they will run circles around this talent now because they actually made their matches look like they were fighting each other. Now these dudes look like it's synchronized gymnastics. Like, that's why I don't like it. It's a couple wrestlers now that I like. I like Cesaro. I like Dolph Ziggler. Sami Zayn's passable. He's decent. Now, people outside of WWE that's known for that real technical style. It's a lot of girls. I like Deonna Purrazzo. She's a great technician. Despite what people think I think about, she's a great wrestler. Taya Valkyrie's a great but she has a personality, so I'm not going to put her in that category. She's a great wrestler, though. People like Eric Young's a great but I can't put him in there. He's got a personality. Kurt Hawkins, but guys like that, he has a personality, though. It's a lot of guys that I get that. Kenny Omega, great style, not too crazy about him being a world champion, though. He's too much. He thinks too much like a mark. Guys like him, I can appreciate their technical in-ring work. Guys like who's another one? Trent Beretta and people like that. They can work. It's just like when they get in the ring with people that don't have the mentality as them, they work like marks. That's what my problem is. They get up in there, they make their stuff look too overly cooperative. That's where you lose me at with wrestling matches.
Yeah, I agree. One thing what a mark is to me is when you get in the ring. Okay, Santino Marella, for instance. When people get in the ring and they do goofy shit like dick flips or you know what I mean? Stuff like that. And they dance or they get in the ring. For instance, I sent you the video where indie match that pissed me off. It was Will Ospreay versus Ricochet. It was the first time ever these two has got in the ring. Two big names in the indies. There was a show called Lucha Forever that went out of business. They didn't even last a year, bro. They didn't even last a year. They went in away. These two had a match in a company called Lucha Forever. Not even 5 minutes within the match, these two stopped. They start playing what's that Bruno Mars song?
Happy or no? What something he made recently?
Real big.
Uptown Funk. Yeah, Uptown Funk.
They literally played Uptown. Well, bro, they literally played Uptown Funk in the arena, and Will Ospreay and Ricochet started dancing and doing ballet. I swear to God. I will find it out, send it to you again. And they did it for about almost 10 minutes and then stopped and started laughing and then wrestled again.
Let me tell you how pissed off I was. I watched that match with my roommate that hasn't watched wrestling in over 10 years, and I was telling him how good this match was going to be. And that happened.
What was his reaction when he saw that?
He got up in the middle of it and started laughing. He I think he said something about, man, this is what wrestling has turned into. And I guess he went in his room. He was just laughing. And I felt embarrassed. Bro.
Remember that thing I showed you the other day when that dude looked like he's putting his finger up that dude's butt?
Yes, that's another thing I don't like. There was another Japan show called DDT Pro Wrestling.
I know what DDT is.
Where you probably don't remember this, but I shared it with you. They had this Japanese dude. I guess he was getting ready for a power bomb, and he dropped to his knees and started biting his nuts.
I saw that. That surfaced online. I've seen it.
Yeah, and I'm like, and it's shit like, and I'm gonna tell wrestling fans this. It's shit like that I don't support, and that makes me hate this fucking business. I'm telling you. I get wrestling's fake, but you don't got to do all that shit.
It's a difference between fake and stupid, though. That's
like you going to see a movie. That's like you going to see a movie, and then the movie they all show the cameraman and all that shit, all the producers, and they start laughing.
Right.
It's like, bro, like I didn't watch the movie for this shit.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But yeah, it's
bro,
stuff like that. Yeah, but they literally started doing ballet, bro.
A lot of this shit is embarrassing.
They literally
started this is what we're going to do.
That's why when Will Ospreay started talking that shit.
We're going to wrap this show up in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I was just
going to wrap this show up in 5 minutes. I'm going to come back at 10, and then we're gonna finish up with that 15. So I'm going to take a quick break because I got to use the bathroom. I'm going to give me a quick bowl of cereal or something like that, and then we're going to come back at about 10:05 and wrap the show up. That's what we're going to do.
Okay. But I was
real quick, let me wrap up the last couple matches that happened for the people that's on here. Xavier Woods versus T-Bar, which T-Bar beat him. Bro, just give up on. I'm just gonna real briefly say, just give up on fucking
Retribution.
Just give up on them dudes. Sorry. Lashley for the U.S. title went against Matt Riddle. Bobby Lashley won after he put him in a hurt lock. I'm sure there was some outside interference involved or whatever. He still checked. They beat the shit out of Riddle, which got heat. And Riddle sold it great. He was screaming like they broke his ribs, so that was good. MVP versus Riddle. Riddle beat MVP. See, I don't like when they double up and put them in. I don't know what the closing segment is. Probably gonna be something with Triple H and Randy Orton because apparently it's still like 28 minutes left, and this ain't the main event. I'm probably gonna eat some cereal and laugh at some of this main event. I doubt I'll last 5 minutes, depending on what it is. But if it's something like Goldberg or something showing up, I might watch it or whatever. While I'm eating my cereal, but I'm sure it's going to be terrible, and I might not last for 5 minutes. I'm probably going to switch on something else. But I'm going to try to watch. See, to me, I can watch the last hour of Raw. I'll watch the last hour. That's about all I can bear. And a lot of times it's still terrible, but that's about all I can bear is the last hour of Raw. So what we're going to do is when we come back, everybody going to get it. Whoever's on here, it's probably, even if it's just me and Rap, we're going to give our opinions about what can WWE fix to do, what they could have done better with this shit episode of Raw. We're going to take every match and book it. We're going to do that real quick, and then also we're gonna talk about our favorite Royal Rumble moments, and we're gonna wrap up tonight or whatever. But Raph, I'll see you in a second, man. Let me just take a break. I'll call you before I get on because you might not see when I see you today. So give me some cereal, drain the main vein, and we'll be back on. Thank you to people that's been hanging out with us today or whatever. Y'all see my real personality outside of talking serious stuff when I get fired up about wrestling, which happens very often these days. But Triple H will piss me off and trigger me when he's mentioned, especially when somebody try to defend his bullshit. You'll see me get like that. But I'm not like that all the time, so I don't want to shake people up and scare. Obviously, I ain't scare y'all because most of y'all pretty much still on here. So maybe one person left. It don't look like it, but maybe give or take one person left or whatever. But yeah, we have a good time. But wrestling, I'm a lot more, rated R. Just let y'all know. So if it's not for y'all, I'm just warning y'all now. I'm a little more diplomatic on my other shows, but this one we get real. So for Raph, Monday night, for me, the Prodigy, we'll catch y'all in a minute. And we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in about 30 minutes. All right, y'all. Peace.